Right, let's bring back in Adam Bridge and Perry Groves, who are live at the racecourse ground for us. I want to focus on Ipswich. Perry, they've lost just 3 of the last 20. They're comfortably in the top 6, just 6 points behind Borough. They've got 2 games in hand. Is there a world where they chase down that second place?
Yeah, of course there are, because obviously they've got the history. Kieran McKenna obviously getting Ipswich from League One, then the Championship, and all the way in to the Premier League. And I think people forget as well, in the Premier League, Ipswich Town spent 140 million quid when they went up, and I just thought they got their recruit. I didn't think they bought enough experienced Premier League players, for the money that sort of they spent. So there'd be that little bit of pressure, obviously, with Kieran McKenna. You mentioned there, they've only lost 3 of the last 20 matches in the Championship. Those 3 defeats have been away from home, so they've got to turn their away form round, which they've just started to do. Last 4 in the Championship, they've won 2, drew 1 and lost 1. They've won a big win at Coventry 2-0, obviously beat Derby 2-1, drew against Millwall 0-0, which is a difficult place to go at the Den, because Millwall only 1 defeat last 10 at home. So they've just started to turn their away form around, which they need to do if they want to sort of get in and maybe dislodge Middlesbrough.
You say about second place, Ollie. I think it's a 3-horse race for those 2 spots, personally. I wouldn't discount them from finishing top of the table. I know you look at the table now and go, oh, hang on a minute, they're 11 points behind Coventry, but they've got 3 games in hand. They've beaten Coventry twice. They've showed their credentials. They beat them at home. They went to the CBS. They turned them over comprehensively. They do have this ability, though, to suddenly slip up. They beat Coventry at home 3-0. They go to Leicester and lose 3-0. So they're a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. But I think it's a 3-horse race for those top 2 spots. I think there's no doubt about it.
And it's a really good point as well from Perry, isn't it, about the experience they have had before of being promoted, especially for Kieran McKenna. And when you look at that season too, there were so many twists and turns, so many last-minute goals, so many clutch moments, as us kids would say. That's going to make a huge difference, isn't it, Perry, in the running this time around? Yeah,
I say it's just that little bit of experience, a little bit of calmness. Obviously, Wharton is in goal now for Ipswich. It gives you that, again, little bit of authority. And we saw, obviously, they were defending, from the free kicks in the warm-up. You'd expect him to come and dominate the 18-yard box. Matasuwa in midfield with Taylor. Matasuwa is the one who tries to get himself on the ball. It's like the Sam Morsey role, because they had Sam Morsey when they was in the Championship, and he was brilliant for them when they actually got promotion. Just like keeping everything tick over.
This experience you're talking about, boys, it's got the sort of thing Arsenal could do with it, really, isn't it? About when it comes to winning titles. Not that we're all getting at you today, Perry.
You get the experience once you've won the title, Ad. That's what it is. You just got to look at each other and think, yes, I trust you.
Okay.
So you're just trying to ramp me up already for tomorrow.
Did someone say the word bottle? I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Just quickly on Ipswich too. As much as there's been a few fans questioning their options up front, it seems to be within the Ipswich supporters, they're not quite sure about the number 9 position. They are still the second highest scorers in the league, so as much as maybe that role is a problem, scoring isn't.
Yeah, I think what they've done, they spread their goals around the team. Obviously Clark is the top scorer with 12, Philogene has got 10, but obviously they got Liam Delap obviously was sold to Chelsea, so they've missed his goals. Azon's going to play up front today. Hurst, has filled that role as well. But whoever plays up front for Ipswich, full well that it's up to them to set the press off, because say Ipswich aren't a team that's going to come here and sit deep and try and absorb pressure. They will be on the front foot, so when whichever centre forward is playing, they've got to be the one that sets that press off.
Perry, thank you very much indeed. Teams on their way out then at the racecourse ground. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. Remember, from 5:30, you can be the first to have your say on national radio on the game day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. That's before a big game in the Premier League. Man City against Newcastle is at 8 o'clock, live and exclusive on Talksport. And the action continues tomorrow. Join Sam Matterface and the gang for live updates on Sunday's sporting menu, Game Day Live from 1:30. First, though, the racecourse is ready for a cracker. Wrexham, with dreams of crashing into the playoffs with yet another promotion in their sights. But in form, Ipswich are in town with their own aims of a return to the Premier League. Plenty at stake. So let's join your commentary team, the former Arsenal winger Perry Groves, alongside your match commentator, Adam Bridge.
Thanks, Ollie. Good afternoon, everyone. Just when you thought maybe we were going to have a day where the rain would stay away, it's chucking it down in Wrexham. The sun has departed, and this should make for a fascinating surface on which both these sides who like to play their football can perform. Let's start with the Wrexham team for you this afternoon. Conquos in goal, Cleworth, Hyam and Doyle the back three, Gabore and Thomason the two wing backs. Thomason got his first outing as wing back on New Year's Day against Sheffield United and was so good they've kept him in there ever since. Sheep and Rathbone in central midfield. Rathbone with 5 goals, having only got his 5th start of the campaign following an ankle injury. And then O'Brien, Moore and Windass are the 3 up top for Phil Parkinson's side. As for Ipswich Town, Walton's in goal. It's Furlong, O'Shea, Kipre and Davis across the back. Matasiwa and Taylor, the 2 central midfielders, with Burns, Mermetti and Clark supporting Athon, who's up top. 2 goals to his name this season. And you guys were just talking about how they spread the goals round. Well, there's 15 of them sat on the bench for Ipswich today. George Hurst, the man who's got the most of those, with 6 so far this season. Jayden Philogene still absent, but they do welcome back Marcelino Nunes, the former Norwich man, onto the bench today. Lee Doughty is the man in charge. Wrexham are in their red shirts, white shorts and red socks, and they're going to be kicking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes. Ipswich are in their 3rd strip today, which is grey with turquoise numbers from top to toe, and we are almost ready to go. We're in Wales, across the border in Wrexham. 11,000 packed in to the racecourse ground. Just over 1,000 of those have made the long journey from Suffolk, but we are ready to go with our second live commentary of the day from the Championship here on Talksport 2. We will, of course, keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in around the country throughout this afternoon. Adrian Durham is live right now over on Talksport with Around the Ground. You'll hear from our reporters the length and breadth of England and Scotland, covering the big games throughout the day. But here we're bringing you live commentary of Wrexham against Ipswich. 2 sides flirting with promotion to the promised land of the Premier League. Ipswich currently in 4th, Wrexham in 7th, 6 points separating these 2 sides. But remember, Ipswich do have games in hand, and it's Ipswich who have the ball on the right hand side. Furlong with a ball forward, breaks towards the right edge of the penalty area where it's picked up, and on the charge is Athon, but can't quite get there with it. At the edge of the box once more, it goes back to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea has started every Championship game for Ipswich this season, of course joined from Burnley, previously at West Bromwich Albion, so plenty of Championship experience for O'Shea as Furlong wins another header, and it's nodded clear from the edge of his own box by Doyle. Ipswich just keeping the ball here, early doors out wide to the right hand side, but then it's picked up and clipped forward by Thomason, one in the centre circle by Clark, and again taken down by Taylor, but he's given it away to Gabore, who's on the charge down this right hand side for Wrexham. Right edge of the box, tries to get the early cross in, can't beat Kipre, then nods it into the danger zone, edge of the 6-yard area. It's headed away by O'Shea. It'll come down on this right hand side again towards Gabore. They want offside, the assistant doesn't give it. Gabore's right footed cross is deflected behind, and the first corner of the game is Wrexham's. Perry Groves.
Yeah, I don't think Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich manager, will be very happy. They've given the ball away twice very cheaply in the centre of the pitch there, both times by Jack Taylor, and they enabled Kipre on this right hand side to try and get his cross in. The second cross he got in, Leif Davis blocked it, so Wrexham's first corner on their right hand side,
and it's going to be swung in left footed, and they've already got Keith Moore obviously as the real target, and Moore gets there first, but he's just beaten to the header on this occasion. It's half cleared, taken down in the middle of the park and controlled quite nicely that time round by Ben Sheaf, and it's on halfway for Wrexham, and they'll just keep the ball and go all the way back to a Okonkwo away to our left hand side. That was well defended.
Yeah, well defended. It was Jack Taylor who got himself out of trouble there at the near post, so just ball whipped in with pace, just curling in. You've got to make sure if you're near post you do your job for the team, exactly what Jack Taylor did. Just looking at Wrexham, we wondered where, Sheaf, O'Brien and Rathbone, it looks like Sheaf and O'Brien are going to be sort of the little bit deeper of the midfield players, with Rathbone on the left hand side and Windass on the right behind Kiefer Moore.
Away to our right-hand side. Ipswich have the ball inside their own penalty area, and it's at the feet of Christian Walton. No clean sheet in the last 3 for Walton, but he has kept 9 throughout this campaign. Didn't start as first choice. That was Alex Palmer, who's on the substitutes bench today, but he picked up an injury. Walton has grabbed his chance since then. Early goals going in the EFL. Bristol Rovers lead Grimsby Town by a 1-0. They suffered their 3rd straight defeat in midweek against Oldham, but they're off to a good start today. Here come Wrexham on the charge down the left-hand side. Here's Kiefer Moore, edge of the penalty area by the byline, cuts the ball across, and it was a left-footed swing by Windass. He makes no contact with it, and it'll be a chance for Ipswich to clear on this near side. Spinning and turning is Jack Clark once more, and real tussle by the corner flag. Referee lets play go. Cabore's there, and he'll have the throw right by the flag on this right-hand side.
Really good play from Keith Moore, led on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. He just picked out Josh Windass unmarked on the penalty spot and just took a massive swing at it. I think he just got to get his technique and get a little left foot, side foot. Missed the ball completely.
Cabore, lovely give and go, gets to the byline, does get the cross in this time, but the ball in fact runs out of play, and it will be a goal kick to Ipswich away to our right-hand side. Shrewsbury Town under Gavin Cowan, absolutely flying. 3rd straight win in League 2 on Tuesday night. First time they've won 3 in a row since early in 2023, where they could be on the way to 4. Ewan Morgan with a goal for Shrewsbury, who are ahead at Accrington Stanley. And Chelsea in front already against Burnley, with just 4 minutes on the clock in the Premier League. Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. João Pedro, the goal scorer for Liam Rossigno's side.
A little 4 days off there, they haven't done any harm with it. A bit of rest, relaxation, restock, refuel. Mind you, it's easy to give your players 4 days off when you know that it's Burnley that you're going to be playing. The last 8 games away from home in the Premier League, Burnley conceded at least 2 goals.
Stockport behind as well against Wigan. Gary Caldwell now in charge. First win in 9 games midweek for him, and they could be on the way to a 2nd in 10. Here's Kiefer Moore inside the penalty area. Left-footed shot from Kiefer Moore! Oh, what a strike! Left-footed goal for Kiefer Moore. Puts Wrexham in front. That's an absolute stunner. He's rifled that with his left boot. It's his 11th championship goal of the season. And Kiefer Moore, who's been on a goal drought since Boxing Day, he's back and he's amongst the goals. It's Wrexham 1, Ipswich Town 0.
More. How do you like it? And the way that he likes it is top bins. Brilliant link-up play from Josh Windass. Just releases Keith Moore on that left-hand side of the 18-yard box. He has a look inside him just to see who's in there. He realises it's only Windass who's gone into the 18-yard box. Just gets it onto his left foot. He puts his laces through it. He gives Walton in the Ipswich goal absolutely no chance whatsoever. High to his right-hand side in the top corner. Brilliant counter-attacking goal from Wrexham. Brilliant finish from Kiefer Moore.
Really is an absolute beauty from Kiefer Moore. Scored 7 goals in 29 league appearances for Ipswich Town in his couple of spells there. But he scores against his former team. It's the perfect start for Phil Parkinson's side here. Inside 6 minutes, Wrexham have the lead. And we talked about his aerial prowess. Well, he's just shown he's pretty good with his feet there, Perry.
Yeah, very much so. And it's his movement as well. Obviously, he's like 6'4", 6'5", but his movement's been really good.
That's a good cross into the box, trying to find Jack Taylor for Ipswich as they look to respond swiftly here. It's controlled at the edge of his box that time by Matt Sewer's ball in, and it's nicely done by Doyle. On that far touchline, the left, there's Thomason out to O'Brien. O'Brien looking to charge forward down that left-hand side. He's got Moore ahead of him on the left. He's got Windass going through the middle. Here's Moore. We're going to take on his man down that far side. He's trying to get the better of Dara O'Shea. Left-footed ball cut back across towards Windass, but it's cut out by O'Shea and behind for another corner away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, you can hear all the Wrexham fans every time it comes to Kiefer Moore. They tell him to shoot now. Don't matter where he was in the pitch. He was on the left wing that time. Really good play from O'Brien. And again, I said it's about the movement of Kiefer Moore. Just drifting out to this left-hand side. Just tries to fire the ball across the 6-yard box. Good defending from O'Shea at the near post. Corner for Wrexham over on the left-hand side.
Ed Still starting quite well for Watford, a draw first time out. He's won up against Derby County so far today. Birmingham City lead against Norwich. Carlos Vicente with a goal for Birmingham City. Stockport have equalised against Wigan. That's 1 apiece in League One. And Bristol Rovers have doubled their advantage against Grimsby Town. Joe Quigley the goal scorer. Corner's cleared out to the edge of the box. It's struck with venom by the left foot that time of George Thomason. It was well blocked as well. Didn't travel far, but it looked like it had a fair amount of purchase on it. And it's back with a Okonkwo away to our left-hand side. Perfect start here for Wrexham, and in particular for Kiefer Moore, giving them the lead against Ipswich Town. Jorge Grant has scored for Salford City in the game against Cheltenham. They've lost all 3 prior visits to Cheltenham, have Salford, but they're off to a good start this afternoon. With just 6 minutes on the clock there, it's Cheltenham 0, Salford 1. 8 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Wrexham 1, Ipswich Town 0. Kiefer Moore on target against his former club. Ipswich trying to find their way into the game, and they'll do it with Mehmeti. To the right-hand side he goes to O'Shea. Here's Furlong on halfway. Number 3 of that back line have featured for West Bromwich Albion in recent years, but they've given it away here again. Moore tries to bring it forward through the middle there, Ollie Rathbone, but he was dispossessed again by O'Shea. Felt it was a foul. Referee not interested. Keith Rails left that short. Walton just about gets there under pressure from the advancing O'Brien. Almost paid the price for a short back pass, but now a chance may be to make that pay down this left-hand side for Ipswich. They've got away. It's on this near touch line. Brought forward by Athon, but good defending by Kabore. Inside the box, Athon again trying to get there, but a cross will come. Doyle and run it out of play for a throw on this near side. It was Ben Sheep actually, I think, almost intercepted that back pass and may have done himself a mischief.
Yeah, at the moment Ipswich are a little bit frazzled. It's been a really fast start from Wrexham. Ipswich keep giving the ball away and been really slack in possession. We had a little example there where Jack Clark just put it out to Azon coming on this left-hand side, and he put it behind him instead of in front of him. That enabled Wrexham to go and close the ball down and get the block in.
Keeprate lifts this one into the penalty area. Head away by Doyle again. Out as far in the middle of the park as Jack Taylor, former Peterborough man, just tries to lay a ball into the inside channel for Leif Davis, who have made the run. Read by Kabore. Here is Clark. 12 goals to his name this season. Clark out wide to that right-hand side. Decent cross coming in towards the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's nodded down that time by Athon, but it was quite a tame header straight into the arms of Okonkwo.
Yeah, good play from Mehmeti over on that right-hand side. Ipswich just dinking the ball up. Azon coming in the far post. Rose really well early, but couldn't quite get enough power on his header. Easy save for Okonkwo.
Kiefer Moore putting the pressure on. He's given away the foul. It's in the right-back position away to our right-hand side. An opportunity now for Ipswich just to take a moment, just to take some possession and a chance to just calm this game down. They trail by a goal to nil. We are 11 minutes into a fairly frantic start at the Racecourse Ground here on Talksport 2. You're up to date with all the goals as they fly in elsewhere across the EFL, the Premier League, of course. As we mentioned, Chelsea in front. We've got live Premier League football for you tonight from 8 o'clock over on Talksport as Manchester City play Newcastle. Yes, again, they're coming up against each other again in the FA Cup in a couple of weeks' time too, but we'll have it for you live and exclusive tonight. 8 o'clock, the kick-off time tonight for Manchester City against Newcastle over on Talksport.
Yeah, just looking at Ipswich in possession. When they're in possession, Jack Clark comes wide on this left-hand side, Mehmeti goes wide on the right-hand side, as an up front. So what they're trying to do is obviously stretch the Wrexham back five.
Well, they've lost out here to Ollie Rathbone, who's on the charge down that left-hand side. Moore's gone out wide to that left-hand touchline. Moore will just pick it up and try to hold the ball up by the corner flag. He does brilliantly, finds Rathbone again. There was a charge into the penalty area to try and pick up possession from Windass, and it is towards Windass, edge of the box. Oh, he's just going to find some time to shoot then, was Windass, but he's just dispossessed right on the edge of the penalty area by Taylor. And now the counter's on with Clark out wide to that right hand side. Burns is the player trying to get after it, but too much on the pass, and it's out for a throw to Wrexham level with the edge of the penalty area.
Really good defending from Jack Taylor there for Ipswich. So the ball came into Josh Windass on the edge of the 18-yard box, just trying to get it out of his feet to get his right foot shot away. Jack Taylor just making sure he just gets his little toe in. But it's been like a game of basketball now, isn't it? It's like a helter-skelter. The pace of the game has been absolutely relentless. I'm saying you can tell that Phil Parkinson said to his Wrexham players, I want you fast out the block, I want you closing down, I want you winning your 50-50s. And we know that Ipswich like to get themselves on the ball, and play through the lines. At the moment, Wrexham haven't allowed her to do it because Ipswich keep giving the ball away because they're under so much pressure. Problem
here is for Ben Sheaf. He got caught when he was trying to chase down that back pass by Christian Walton, and ever since then he's had a problem. He's done well this season, 26 appearances already for Sheaf in the Championship. He's struggled to complete more than 30 every season at Coventry City before his departure. We'll give you some other scores in the meantime while he's getting treated. Wigan have gone back in front against Stockport County. They lead now by 2-1 after a good start. Joe Taylor restoring their advantage. Northampton Town 0, Leyton Orient 1. Dom Ballard, the goal scorer for Leyton Orient. They have the worst away record in League One, but they've got themselves in front, and it's Gillingham 0, Oldham Athletic 1. Callum Kavanagh on target for Oldham as things stand. You're up to date with the goals as they're going in around the country. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Sheaf is he's up. Whether he's going to be able to continue, I think George Dobson would be the natural replacement for him amongst the Wrexham substitutes. Whether we'll see him or not, we shall see. In the Six Nations at half-time at Twickenham, it's England 7, Ireland 22. I think everyone thought after the opening weekend of the season that England were the team to beat, but defeat at Scotland last week and losing at home to Ireland right now as things stand.
Is it Mario Toji's 100th appearance for England today?
It is indeed, yes. Luton Town have scored. Eddie Burton Albion by 1-0. Naki Wells on target for Jack Wilshere's side. Throw-in taken. Sheaf is still down and off the field of play, so Wrexham are down to 10 men as things stand. I'm pretty sure that may be the race run for Ben Sheaf. I think they're going to work hard to try and get him in a position where he can continue, because he's been so crucial for Wrexham in recent weeks. Long ball forward to Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore is offside, and I think there's a claim there that may have been a little bit of afters from Kiefer Moore. Ipswich player's gone down in some discomfort. Wes Burns, I think, is the player that's on the floor. And the referee not really interested, to be fair. May not be Burns, just looking afar. He wants play to continue. The referee says there was no foul, so can we just get on with a free kick? But he's still rolling around on the floor. Maybe Darnell Furlong on that far side, in fact, who's down. His view is obscure. Did you see a foul there?
That is brilliant refereeing from Lee Doughty, because he's just gone over. You said there was a bit of a coming together. It's not a head injury. And basically said to Furlong, I'm just going to carry on. What do you think? He got up. It was like Mr. Miyagi, wasn't it, from Karate Kid, just kind of like hands on, hands off.
Down that right hand side is Furlong, who's now getting roundly booed by the Wrexham fans around us. Down that right hand side, the charge is on to get towards the byline, and the cross comes in towards Athon, and it just ricochets off him out of play for what will be a goal kick to Wrexham. Ben Sheaf, I don't think he's going to continue. It looks like Dobson will be the player who is going to come on to replace him on that far side, and it is indeed George Dobson. First year in the Championship for Dobson. 9th time he's come off the bench, but he has actually started 21 games as well. And he's on into the heart of that midfield. He's played through the divisions, has George Dobson. Was at Charlton for a while, of course, before coming to join Wrexham. That's headed forward and away by O'Shea over halfway. We've been playing for 16 and a half minutes on Talksport 2. There's another Ipswich player down, and this may be one of the reasons why they were practicing all that aerial work before the game. Ipswich, a game of head tennis has ensued, and again another player who's down, and the referee, I think, saying there is no need for treatment, and it will be a drop ball. Notts County have scored. Jason Lowe on target. They lead Tranmere Rovers by 1-0. Birmingham City have doubled their advantage against Norwich. May not be going well here for Ipswich, but they'll be happy to see Norwich losing. Marvin Duksh is the goal scorer of the second for Birmingham City, and he's made the point, I think, to Athon, well, if you're injured, then you need to go off. And he is going to go off, and he'll have 30 seconds on the sideline before he's allowed to continue. I think this is excellent.
It's brilliant refereeing from Lee Doughty, because he's just saying, it's not really head injury. You're pretending you've been hit in the head and in the face. You haven't got a fractured eyelash, so you're going to be all right. And who'd have thought it? He's actually just gone, walked himself off the pitch. Now Ipswich are down to 10 men because of Athon's play acting.
They will be for a few moments. Very strong refereeing, no doubt about it, from Lee Doughty. Ipswich a man light, then Wrexham have it in their left-back position, leading by 1-0, courtesy of Kiefer Moore. Excellent skill down that left-hand side and away by Doyle. Then he just ruins it by giving the ball away. Dobson tries to win it in the middle of the park, and then Ollie Rathbone will steam in and pick up possession. Windass then tries to switch play forward, but there was no one there. And Windass's ball is just long, and it gives an Ipswich chance to pick up possession again away to our right-hand side.
I think Josh Windass actually saw a run from the invisible man there, because it wasn't a Wrexham player within 30, 40 yards of the ball. I think he thought that Kabore was going to be, marauding up that right-hand side, but Kabore is just a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it looks like the positioning of Rathbone and O'Brien is quite interesting today. They both seem to be more in a central midfield position. Here come Ipswich on the attack. No ball played across the box by Wes Burns, but doesn't go to anyone. And it's picked up again on halfway by O'Shea for Ipswich Town. Here they come down the left. Keythrow finds Leif Davis. Davis here into the penalty area where the run's been made by Jack Taylor, who was looking for the penalty, and Lee Doughty immediately says, no, you can have the throw on this near side, but he went looking for that.
Yeah, just the two Jacks there from Ipswich combining. Jack Clark into Jack Taylor, really good defender from Hyam, just made sure that he didn't overcommit himself and just toe-poke the ball away.
Here is Taylor on the charge, edge of the penalty area, still going on the left-hand side, gets the shot away, Okonkwo gets a hand to it, comes out and he's finished comfortably by Mehmeti, who gets his first goal for Ipswich Town. Mehmeti drilling it high into the roof of the net to put Ipswich Town level. Okonkwo couldn't complete the save properly, and Mehmeti takes full advantage, and the man signed from Bristol City, where he'd already scored 9 goals this season, has opened his account for Ipswich Town. It's Wrexham 1, Ipswich 1.
It's a brilliant finish from Mehmeti as the ball just came out. Okonkwo, it looked like a good save initially, low down to his right hand side. Good play from Jack Taylor for Ipswich on the left, got his shot away, did exactly the right thing, put it across Okonkwo. Okonkwo's done full length, got his 2 palms to it, and then as the ball just sort of ricocheted out, Mehmeti did brilliantly because he followed in, got the first touch out of his feet, and he just smashed it into the roof of the net to Ipswich back in the game here, 1-1 at the Racecourse Ground against Wrexham.
It is. We've had nearly 20 minutes of this game. Wrexham 1, Ipswich 1 on Talksport 2.
What a game, Adam, by the way. What an advert for the Championship.
Here they come again. O'Brien down that left-hand side. He's got more alongside him. Plays the ball across towards Windass. It was a yard or two behind him. And now the counter's on. Ipswich flying forward down this left-hand side with Clark. No foul, but it will be a throw on this near side. And it'll be a chance for Athon, who's going to leave it for Leif Davis on this near touchline. Throw in to be taken by Davis, 15 yards inside the Wrexham half. And it is taken short, picked up this time by Matasiwa. His ball forward to the chest of Athon. Nearly comes down towards Clark, but there's a foul there on Windass inside the centre circle by Matasiwa. And it will be a bit of a soft one, but it will be a free kick to Wrexham nonetheless. Don't forget tomorrow lunchtime, Sheffield Derby, Sheffield Wednesday against Sheffield United. Still City, 12 o'clock here on Talksport 2. Jim Proudfoot, Chris Iwelamo will guide you through that one tomorrow lunchtime. And we've got more Premier League action for you on Monday night as well, with the game between Everton and Manchester United. That's exclusively live on Talksport. Kick-off 8 o'clock on Monday night. Left-hand side, Doyle. Midway inside the Ipswich half. Early ball in, looking for more. Read by O'Shea. It was a low ball. O'Brien on that charge again. He picks up balls deep and then sets off with penetrating runs into that Ipswich half. Always causing problems. Kabore down this right-hand side. Looking for some movement up ahead of him. Cleworth's there and goes back again inside his own half. Left-hand side, Doyle. Up towards the feet of Rathbone. Nice little layoff to Thomason. There's O'Brien. Nice football from Wrexham. Controlled by Dobson. And again back to Doyle on halfway.
Yeah, just like from Wrexham, Dobson's going to be that deep lying midfield player for him. That enables O'Brien just to play maybe sort of 10 yards in front of him. Just to give Ipswich a few more problems with Rathbone on that left-hand side. So it's very fluid from Wrexham when they're in possession.
Here's Moore, hold the ball up with his feet on that far side. Has support from Ollie Rathbone. Now into the middle with Dobson. Swift movement of the ball here, out to the right-hand side. Cabore's in space, but Cleworth goes early into the box, trying to find Windass. Comes to Windass on the volley, edge of the penalty area. Cedric Keepray gets his backside in the way, and it ricochets all the way into Wrexham territory. And it's well looked after by Dom Hyam, who's been sensational since signing from Blackburn. And he'll spin the ball back to Okonkwo, and Wrexham will have it again deep inside their own half.
Yeah, Wrexham just moving the ball just a little bit sharper now, just 1 and 2 touch, just starting to get a little bit of domination with the ball. You see Windass just coming out to this right hand side, obviously Cabore playing as the right wing back. You see Kiefer Moore again going out to that left hand side, where maybe if you're Phil Parkinson, you want him to stay a little bit more central, give him a little bit more of a focal point.
Peterborough United have the lead against Exeter in League One. Early goal for them. Plenty of early goals elsewhere as well. Just the one in the Premier League so far. That goal for Chelsea against Burnley. João Pedro on target for Liam Rossigna's side so far this afternoon. Left hand side. Clark with a hairband. Dispossessed by Cabore. Into the feet of Dobson. Dobson with a little bun. Helps the ball on to Rathbone, who then goes forward into the advancing run of Thomason, who does brilliantly to keep possession of the ball and hold it well on that far side on halfway for Wrexham. Are on the attack again down this right-hand side now with Cleworth. They do move the ball from left to right fairly swiftly, Phil Parkinson's side. They look to try and create space within those Ipswich ranks just to try and exploit. They've given it away this time. Matusiwa back towards O'Shea, kept in by Furlong on that far side just about, and they've done well to keep possession here. That's really good from Kieran McKenna's side. Here's Mameti, the goal scorer, loses out to O'Brien. Very good tackle from O'Brien, and then Rathbone goes down, and it's a foul from Mameti, and it's a free kick for Wrexham just inside the Ipswich half.
Yeah, Mameti just giving the ball away, just like to add on, he wants a run in behind where he's come short to feet, end up giving it away. To be fair to Mameti, then he just recovered really well, just made sure that he got his tackle in.
Here they are again, Wrexham, taking the free kick short. Thought maybe with Moore in the side they may have gone more direct, but still happy to play it around. Doyle will then go to the feet of Moore, who just tries to turn it round the corner, but just turned it onto the head of Dara O'Shea, 5 or 6 yards outside his own penalty area. Forced backwards towards Walton, and then Walton will clear first time for Ipswich from inside his own penalty area, only as far as halfway. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Prices may vary. Possession on that left-hand side is with Wrexham, just over halfway, and we're beyond the midway point of the first half. 25 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Wrexham 1, Ipswich Town 1. Ball backwards towards Keepray. He won't get there, but Walton will come to the edge of his penalty area, and left-footed, the former Brighton keeper, will launch a ball forward, and the header will be won on the bounce that time by Hyam. There is a foul and a first yellow card coming here, and it's to Cleworth for his challenge on Jack Clark, and it will be a free kick for Ipswich midway inside the Wrexham half.
Yeah, Cleworth has put himself on a little bit of pressure there. Didn't really need to make that challenge on Jack Clark. When the ball came into Jack Clark, actually he had a little look over his left shoulder. He knew that Cleworth was coming in. He manages to ride the tackle. Quite rightly, he doubted the referee. Gets his first yellow card out. That's a free kick for Ipswich in a really dangerous position in the inside left position.
It is. Leif Davis will have it. Cedric Keepray has gone forward. Wes Burns lurking in there, and you, as would expect, Mameti and O'Shea advancing forward. Everyone back for Wrexham to defend this. Left-footed ball is swung into the danger zone, and Cleworth has to volley it behind his own goal, and it's out for a corner to Ipswich. It was a decent delivery from Leif Davis. We saw so many of those in that promotion season and in the Premier League, and he's still at it now.
Yeah, really good delivery. Just a really high line there from Wrexham, just holding it 5 yards outside their own 18-yard box. Gives that little bit of space to bend it into. Really good defence from Cleworth. Corner for Ipswich on the left-hand side.
And it's Mameti who will deliver it. Right-footed, edge of the 6-yard box, header away by O'Brien. They try to clear their lines and get out as that right-footed shot is driven by Taylor, and it's well over the top of Okonkwo's crossbar away to our left-hand side.
when it comes out to Jack Taylor there, really should be easing it back into the 18-yard box. He's tried to bend it with his right foot into Konku's top right-hand corner, just got himself underneath it. That enables Wrexham obviously to relieve the pressure. Ipswich put on the high press, which means that Konku's going to have to go long.
Form of these two fairly similar. 6 wins in 10 in the Championship for Wrexham, 6 wins in 9 for Ipswich Town. The differential really is their home and away form, really, and the fact that they've not won in the last 3 here, Wrexham. When you look at Ipswich Town, they've only won 5 of their last 14 away from home. They found victories hard to come by in recent weeks. And no wonder at this moment we can't separate them. 1 apiece. Furlong to Burns on that far touchline. Looking to cut infield. There was a late fitness test for Burns, but he only passed it to keep his place in the starting lineup today. Thomason drills a ball forward, but again it's kind of into no man's land because Moore is taking up that wide position on the left-hand side. I mean, we're seeing Windass split out to the right sometimes as well. Is this a deliberate plan to leave room for Rathbone and O'Brien maybe to run through the middle? We've got Windass running through the middle this time, and that's because Hyam's coming forward. Here comes O'Brien. Kabore on the right-hand side for Wrexham, 30 yards out from goal. Infield it goes to Windass, who's dispensed with the gloves he started the game with. Now it's Dobson, left-hand side for Doyle, level with the edge of the penalty area, about 35 yards out. He was adjacent to it, and they just keep it after half a clearance from Ipswich Town. Dobson goes more direct to Windass, who made the run. Clever ball, just a yard or so in front of Windass, and it skips off the surface into the arms of Walton.
Yeah, he just needed a little 9-iron there from Dobson instead of a 7-iron. He's a little bit more loft on it because it's a really good run from Windass on this right-hand side, getting himself in between Kipre and Leif Davis. Just skidded off the turf through to Walton.
All 5 of Ipswich wins away from home have come after they've scored first. They didn't quite manage it today, of course, but they do concede not too many goals on the road. Only Derby and Stoke have conceded fewer goals away from home than Ipswich Town have, so they are difficult to break down. Wrexham managed it early, but they've been counter-punched here. Kiefer Moore's goal inside 6 minutes cancelled out by Mehmeti's first in an Ipswich Town shirt. Kabore trying to get on the end of a long swinging ball that's been played forward here on this right hand side, but it was way too far in front of Kabore, and it's out for a throw to Ipswich Town in the left back position.
Well, first I thought Thomason had actually, seeing that Walton was off the line, I thought he'd gone for goal because there was so much purchase on the pass because Kabore was never ever going to get it.
Here is Ipswich's throw. That's going to be a foul. It's Doyle. I think he's going to get a yellow card as well from the referee. Probably just a hand on the shoulder that time of, I think it was Taylor maybe. No, it may have been Mehmeti. I'm sure that was worthy of a yellow, but Lee Doughty's had a good game so far.
Yeah, I think he thought that Doyle was like a professional foul because Taylor looked like he'd spun him in Ipswich. They had like Mehmeti out on that sort of right hand side. 2 of the 3 centre-halves for Wrexham on yellow cards here. Then Taylor's ball forward to Athorn on this near side, but overhit that. It's going to be a throw-in on this near side for Wrexham, who've just lost a bit of tempo and momentum in the last few minutes or so. We've got 14 to go to half-time. 1-1 it remains on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Got more EFL action for you in midweek as well to come. Throw down this right-hand side, headed away by Kipre, flicked on by Rathbone. We're getting to the business end of the season. Wrexham, this is match 33 for Ipswich, match 31, of course. Furlong to the far side. Burns on his right foot, on the attack, cuts a little low ball into the penalty area, but it's well looked after by Rathbone, up towards Kiefer Moore. Windass then wins the second ball. He'll win the third one as well, but just gives it straight to Cedric Kipre, and Ipswich will get it, and they're just asserting and winning a few more of those second balls now. Clark, infield to Taylor. The 2 Jacks combining once more. Taylor's got the ball at his feet. O'Brien's going to try and close down on that far side. Cross in from Burns again. Okonkwo's there to take it off the head of Athon, who was arriving inside the penalty area. Yeah, Ipswich worked it really well from left to right. Matisuwa just putting out to Burns on that right hand side. And actually, I like Burns when he gets the ball and because he just looks to get us across in early, like some wingers, sort of check back inside and just pass it sideways. He actually goes on the outside. He's ripped it in with his right foot. Again, probably just a little bit too lofted. Easy save for a Conqueror.
Manchester was only missed one championship game this season for Ipswich, 8 yellow cards, so we missed that when he got to 5 in his tally. There is another goal in the Premier League. Brentford 0, Brighton 1. Diego Gomez for the troubled Brighton. Fabian Hertz under a bit of pressure. And they've won one game since, certainly this year. One
in 13 in the Premier League.
Not good record.
James Milner breaks the all-time Premier League appearance record today.
And Leeds are in front of Aston Villa as well. So the away goals going in the Premier League. Maybe we didn't expect that too much. Here's Ollie Rathbone, early ball in, looking for Moore and Windass as well, both lurking in the penalty area, but it's easily cleared away for Ipswich on that far side. Anton Stack, by the way, the goal scorer for Leeds United. Good challenge by Dobson to try and win it back for Wrexham. Mehmeti's there on that far side, but Lewis O'Brien just nicks the ball off his toes and keeps it alive with the help of Doyle, and now high and midway inside his own half for Wrexham, who are just struggling to piece a good move together at the moment.
Yeah, I think what happened with Wrexham is they came out the traps, didn't they, fly in that first 10 minutes. It's impossible, to keep that pace up. But the thing that I do like about Wrexham when they're out of possession, it's Dobson who's come on for Sheaf and O'Brien in that centre midfield area. They're like two little Jack Russells. They're snapping at your heels, making sure that Matisua and Taylor don't have too much time on the ball. Ipswich, when they're out of possession, go back into like a 4-4-2. Mehmeti comes up level with Athon, and they just sort of retreat into that. I think they call it the mid-block now, don't they? Is the terminology.
There is plenty of terminology for it, yes. Down that left-hand side, Rathbone's working hard, but Furlong will get there and finds Taylor. Taylor clips the ball forward towards halfway, nodded down as the advancing Hyam picks up the loose ball for Wrexham. Up to the feet this time of Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore then looking out wide to that left-hand side. Rathbone onto Moore. Moore now by the corner flag. On his left foot, looks to play it across, but there's nobody in there really.
Yep, Kiefer Moore is looking to pass it to Kiefer Moore because he keeps drifting out to that left-hand side, and his movement's good, but you want Kiefer Moore in between the two posts so you can whip the crosses in, and you can hear the frustration of the Wrexham crowd because there's nobody in the 18-yard box.
Here's Burns cutting infield, does brilliantly, gets it out to Leif Davis. Left-hand side, his ball into the box to try and find the run of Jack Taylor was well snuffed out again by Hyam, and it's Kiefer who has it midway inside his own half for Ipswich Town. We've been playing for 35 minutes on Talksport 2. Wrexham 1, Ipswich Town 1. A reminder tonight, Manchester City against Newcastle is exclusively live on Talksport, 8 o'clock. We get underway tonight, 7:30 our coverage kicks off. That's after the game day phone-in, which of course will be over on TalkSport from 5:30. Right hand side, Ipswich, midway inside the Wrexham half. Burns is there, looking for options, and right-footed, it's Mehmeti. Switching play to this left-hand side. Kiefer inside his centre circle, right for the ball over the top. Well, the assistant hasn't put his flag up, but I got the feeling Mehmeti there was a mile offside.
Yeah, it looks like 3 or 4 yards offside, wasn't he? With obviously Kipre just trying to loft it into Athon, who sort of should bend his run a little bit more, run a little bit too straight.
O'Brien to the left-hand side again. Arriving is Doyle. Short to Dobson. Dobson into the feet of Moore, who's got his back to goal inside the centre circle. Now he's on a charge. He's got Rathbone going ahead of him. Moore still going. Similar position to which he scored the opening goal of the game. It's going to break to Thomason, who drives one. Blocked by the feet and then heading goalwards and in! Windass with the header with a deflection over the line. I'm sure Windass will try and claim it, but it looks like an own goal from Ipswich Town, and Wrexham have restored their advantage. 8.5 minutes to go to half-time. It's Wrexham 2, Ipswich Town 1.
Really good play from Kiefer Moore. Just picks the ball up in that inside left position, gets himself in the 18-yard box, gets his cross in, gets a little ricochet, then Wrexham recycle it, get it back into the box, and Windass finds himself completely unmarked, 8 yards out, gets his diving header in. Looked like it might have taken a little deflection off an Ipswich defender, but again it's Kiefer Moore causing Ipswich all sorts of problems, dropping deep, going out onto that left-hand side. I just say, I think he might have got a little deflection finally from Windass's header to put Wrexham 2-1 up.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it was going to get blocked on the line, but for the moment, Windass will celebrate. Wrexham will celebrate regardless. And they lead Ipswich Town now by 2-1. Here's Ipswich now trying to respond with a long ball forward that Davis picks up. Well, we said they're hard to break down away from home, but when Keeper Moore gets in that position at the left edge of the box, he's looking quite exceptional. Jack Clark is dispossessed by Dobson Hall, and now Moore's got some space here. He's probably got too many Ipswich shirts around him down that left-hand side. He needs support. Rathbone's coming. Thomason is there as well, and Wrexham do very well to complement Moore with some numbers, and instead they'll just keep it quite comfortably on halfway with 7 minutes to go to half-time.
I tell you, you've been really impressive, Dobson, since he's come on, you know, because you want your they call them impactors now, don't they? Like when you're coming on, have an effect on the game, make sure that you're physically and mentally right, and Dobson's been really good in that real deep line midfield player for Wrexham, just getting the ball ticking over. So that's freed up O'Brien a little bit, who's playing a bit further in front of him.
It looks like the goal has been credited to Josh Windass. Andy Cook, who's on loan from Bradford to Grimsby, has pulled one back for Grimsby. Got his first one in midweek. He scored again today. So it's now Bristol Rovers 2, Grimsby Town 1 as things stand. So if that does go Windass's way, that's 9 in the Championship for him, of course. Scored against Ipswich in the FA Cup.
Come on, Reds, look in.
And he certainly put the header on target. I'm sure it will count his way, as we saw in midweek for Wolves when Adozi scored. The shot was on target just because it took a deflection to actually get into the back of the net. The goals panel usually certainly seem to be favouring the attacker more often nowadays. Here's O'Brien down that left-hand side towards Rathbone. Couldn't find him. It's into touch, and it will be a throw for Ipswich, who have to respond for a second time in this game. 5.5 minutes to go to half-time. Wrexham 2, Ipswich Town 1. In the Premier League, Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. Aston Villa 0, Leeds 1. Brentford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. There's not been too many goals during the first half in some of the other Championship games today. Of course, Middlesbrough are taking on Oxford. That remains goalless. That's quite important at the head of the table. Norwich 0, Birmingham City 2, as things stand. And Watford with an advantage against the informed Derby at Vicarage Road. Here, it's Wrexham who have the advantage. They lead by 2-1. Moore and Windass, the two additions to the Wrexham team today, and well, it's paid dividends. Phil Parkinson as captain must feel quite manager must feel quite pleased with himself when you do that. Make 2 changes and they both score.
Yeah, you get justified, don't you? Obviously, as you said, the 2 changes that are coming in scored the 2 goals, and both had an assist to each other as well. Mind you, I have to say, for Keeper Moore's goal, you can't really say that's an assist from Josh Windass, can you, where he just rolled it to your fellow player like 10 yards in front of you, and then he smashes it in the top corner.
Well, Keeper Moore's been caught there by Cedric Kipre. I don't think the referee was planning to book Cedric Kipre until Kipre, I think, opened his mouth a little bit too much. So here's another one that's gone into the book. Colchester United lead Barnet by 1-0. Reading, Lewis Wing scored a penalty. They lead at Port Vale 0, Reading 1 as things stand. Here's the free kick for Wrexham. We are into the last 4 minutes of the first half here at the Racecourse Ground. The rain continuing to fall, the floodlights are on. It's a dark and dismal February afternoon, but it's being lit up for the home supporters by this Wrexham side. Here's O'Brien dancing into the penalty. Thomason's ball across. Moore tries to get there, and in the end, between goalkeeper and defender Cedric Kipre, they smuggle the ball behind for what will be a corner to Wrexham on that left-hand side. That's a brilliant ball from Thomason.
Really good play on that left-hand side. So O'Brien playing a little bit more advanced. Releases Thomason in the left wing position. Thomason just drills the ball across 6-yard box. In the end, it's really good defending from Kipre at the near post. Looked like it might have got a little ricochet for Wharton. Corner for Wrexham over on their left-hand side. And
it's going to be swung in right-footed this time. Again, you think Moore will be the target. We've got inside the penalty area Hyam, Cleworth's there, Doyle and O'Brien. They're all lurking. Windass is at the edge of the box. It's going to be swung in right-footed by Ollie Rathbone. I think Dobson's going to go and throw himself in the mix as well. It's a good one from Rathbone, and Doyle gets up and gets a flick on it, but he flicks it wide of the left-hand post of Christian Walton.
Oh, Doyle's worst ways out has got to be hitting the target. Really good corner from Hyam just drifting it in from that left-hand side, just bending it in. Doyle just climbing unmarked from 6 yards out. Ball's just gone over Walton's head and Doyle just misses the target completely.
Long clearance forward, away to our right-hand side from Walton. Just finds the head of Doyle again. O'Brien goes up to try and win that second header, but Kiefer Moore will take it down on that far side. He's dispossessed illegally by Mehmeti, according to the referee. And it's a free kick for Wrexham, a couple of yards inside the Ipswich Town half. We have 2 minutes to go to half-time. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Stockport have equalised again against Wigan. Stockport 2, Wigan 2. Wimbledon have the lead against Bradford by a goal to nil. And it's Huddersfield 0, Barnsley 1. David McGoldrick on target for Barnsley against Liam Manning's Huddersfield side, of course. Here's Dobson. Just tries to get the pass away. I think the referee's played the advantage here for what was definitely a foul on Jack Clark in the middle of the park. Now it's Matusiwa with the ball at the edge of the centre circle. To the right-hand side he goes. Furlong's there. Far touchline is Burns. Burns looking to go on the charge. He's got 2 against him. He's well blocked out by Rathbone that time. And then Lewis O'Brien running back towards his own goal. Does brilliantly to combine on that far side with Thomason. Get the ball away up towards Windass on halfway. Now it's given to the feet of Kabore on this near side. It just hesitated for a moment. And that allowed Jack Clark to nip in and take possession of the ball for Ipswich Town. It's poor from Kabore on this near side. And the home supporters let him know about it, that's for sure.
There's really good defending earlier though. Just Ipswich going down that right hand side with Byrne, just doubling up on him, make sure that he can't go on the outside.
Davis finds Clark. Davis has gone on a run. Clark onto his right foot, dangerous position, edge of the penalty area. Davis is in a good position, there's no offside flag. Left-footed ball across, Taylor was arriving, then Davis will try and volley it into the danger zone, around the penalty spot, nodded away by Hyam, only as far as Matusiwa on that far side. Gooding to play. Here's Burns down that right-hand side, tries to get the crossover. Excellent from Doyle behind for a corner.
Yeah, Ipswich just trying to exert that little bit of pressure. Wrexham dropping a little bit deep up. Good link up play on that right hand side from Ipswich with Mehmeti. Just putting it inside Thomason for Byrne. Byrne getting himself to the byline. Wrexham get bodies out there, get the block. Corner for Ipswich on their right hand side.
They're winning 6 from Mansfield in League One. They trail to a Rob Street penalty. Mansfield Town, Lincoln City 1. We have 4 added minutes here at the racecourse ground, and we've entered the first of those as Ipswich prepare to take this corner on that far side. Left-footed ball swung in. Edge of the 6-yard area, evades everybody, and out of play for what will be a goal kick to Wrexham.
Oh, that's a brilliant ball, just swung in from that right hand side. Leif Davis with his left foot, and Kieran McKenna, Ipswich manager, be really frustrated because the ball's basically, Adam, bounced on the 6-yard box. So I think Kipre's just gone a little bit too early. What you need is just a couple of your players just sort of hanging back a little bit so you can attack the ball. Leif Davis will be disappointed as well with obviously the brilliant delivery he's put in there, and no one from Ipswich has been able to get on the end of it.
Only the second league meeting between these sides. It is a third visit to the racecourse ground for Ipswich Town. They've yet to taste victory here. 1995 in the FA Cup, they lost by 2-1. Of course, they lost in the FA Cup a week ago on Friday night by a goal to nil. One thing today is they've actually scored their first goal this season against Wrexham, because it finished 0-0 when they met at Portman Road, and of course they lost 1-0 in that FA Cup tie. So they're off the mark, but they still trail. O'Brien 25 yards out from goal, ball at feet. Dobson, right hand side, Cleworth. Here's Kabore on this right hand side. Is he going to take his man on? I don't think he is. He's just hesitating for a moment. Gives it to Dobson. His ball in is easily cut out at the edge of the penalty area. And now Dobson wins it back again excellently, and then tries to get away from Mehmeti and does so really well. Still fighting hard there, Dobson. Dispossessed. Little slip that time by Hyam. Gave Athon just a couple of moments to keep possession of the ball and set Jack Clark away down this left-hand side. He's on the charge inside the penalty area. Davis's first attempted cross blocked out by a brilliant sliding challenge from Lewis O'Brien, who has been outstanding in this first half for Wrexham. He then steps away that time from Jack Taylor, picks out Kiefer Moore on that far side on halfway, but Moore can't control it. It's out for a throw to Ipswich Town. Perry, what about Lewis O'Brien?
That was brilliant defending from Lewis O'Brien. initially, obviously Leif Davis going in on the underlap, great sliding tackle, then he gets the ball, just comes away, then Jack Taylor comes over for him, and then he has a little nutmegs, just puts it through his legs, gets a massive round of applause from Wrexham fans, tries to ping it out to Keith Moore on that left-hand side. Unfortunately, he missed him by about a yard, but he said there it was brilliant defensive play from O'Brien.
He was flying earlier on the season, scored 4 goals, picked up for £5 million from Forest in the summer. Matusiwa, lovely little layoff that time. Now a chance for Athon, and he scores, and it's 2-2. It's a brilliant goal from Leicester. It's a terrific little layoff to find Athon, who just puts it past Okonkwo, who doesn't even move in the goal away to our left-hand side. It's a terrific touch-off by Jack Taylor, and Athon has got his 3rd championship goal of the season, and in added time at the end of the first half, it's Wrexham 2, Ipswich 2.
It's a brilliant layoff from Taylor, just awareness. He's like got an owl's head, what's going on around him, just flicks it around the corner to Athon. Athon gets himself into the 18-yard box. He's 1v1 with Okonkwo. He actually gives him the eyes, where he looks like he's going to whip it across his own body, and he opens his body up, and he doesn't. He just places it to Okonkwo's left-hand side. Okonkwo thinks that he's read it and goes to the right-hand side, ends up in the back of the net. Brilliantly crafted goal for Ipswich Town to get them back in the game 2-2 at the racecourse ground against Wrexham.
Indeed, 2-2. What a game we've got on our hands here. That looks like a cheeky challenge from Furlong on the far side that's going to earn him a yellow card. There's another one into the book. It's not been a dirty game yet. That's the 4th yellow card we've seen in this opening half. Barnet have equalised against Colchester United, by the way, 1-1.
Offside.
Possibly was. I think they thought there was going to be an offside there as well. But that was an excellently timed run by Athon, and like you say, that layoff from Jack Taylor was exceptional.
Yeah, it's just all about awareness. You know, when you're in that, like a Phil Foden sort of awareness, isn't it? We knew what was going on around him, just played it first time into Athon, and say Athon had really sort of calm, cool composure, just side-footed past Okonkwo.
On loan from Como, the former Zaragoza man. We have had the 4 added minutes, but play continues as that free kick is swung into the Ipswich penalty area, and that's enough, says Lee Doughty, and we reach half-time at the racecourse ground, and what an opening 45 minutes it was. Well, we promised you entertainment, we promised you goals as these two sides near the top of the championship table in form, and they've gone toe-to-toe and traded blows. Keith Moore with the opener, an absolute rasper after 6 minutes. 14 minutes later, a terrific finish from Anis Mehmete after Okonkwo could only palm out the shot that was heading into the bottom corner. Josh Windas's header that was potentially turned home by a Ipswich player 8 minutes before half-time, making it 2-1. And then 3 minutes into added time, lovely pass, and then a little layoff from Jack Taylor to allow Athon to score his 3rd championship goal of the season. And it means, as we head into the break at the racecourse ground, it's Wrexham 2, Ipswich 2.
Adam Bridge, thank you very much indeed. So Ipswich level just before the break. What a brilliant game of football we've had so far. Perry Groves, it was the perfect start, wasn't it, for Wrexham? Kiefer Moore, after just 5 minutes, he's lashed it home against his former club. Was he in behind the defence a bit too easily from an Ipswich perspective?
Well, I think it surprised him with his movement, to be fair, because as you're saying in commentary, expect Kiefer Moore, to be the focal point up front, and he's just drifting out to that inside left position. Josh Windass is going to try and claim an assist, which he'll get, but trust me, it's not an assist because he just rolls it to Kiefer Moore. And Ipswich back off. And as Kiefer Moore gets himself into the 18-yard box on the left-hand side, he just puts his laces through it, smashes through the ball, gives Walton absolutely no chance high to his right-hand side. And to be fair, that was with the run of play, because Wrexham, they come out the blocks very, very sharp. Or they was snapping into tackles, their passing was really good, they were getting it forward nice and quickly, so they completely discombobulated Ipswich, and Ipswich didn't know what to hit them.
You then have the equaliser from Mehmete, the cross from the left spilled by Okonkwo. Mehmete, I thought, did really well, Perry, just to keep his composure in that situation and finish, but the keeper surely has to deal with that situation a bit more effectively.
You're not a goalkeeper coach, Ollie, are you? I think you've been a little bit harsh, because Jack Taylor does really well, gets himself into the 18-yard box on the left-hand side, and he has the shot across Okonkwo, and Okonkwo goes down to his left-hand side. I actually thought it was a decent save, and then as the ball spills out, Athon does really well. He gets onto the rebound and he just toe pokes it to Mehmeti, but Mehmeti's still got a lot to do. There's bodies on the line, and he decided again just to put his foot through the ball and smash it in the roof of net, and Ipswich Town get themselves back into the game at 1-1.
You know me, Perry, high standards only. Windass
soft hands, you've got soft hands.
Windass puts Wrexham back in front. A bit scruffy this from the Ipswich defence, couldn't quite clear their lines, and Wrexham took advantage of that. Yeah,
it's Keeper Moore down that left-hand side, gets it onto his left foot, gets it in the 18-yard box and crosses it. The first one gets blocked. It comes back to him again, second cross. Josh Windass finds himself completely unmarked from 8 yards out. It's a diving header. It took a little bit of ricochet off a couple of Ipswich defenders, but obviously the ball is on target. It would have gone in anyway, so quite rightly at the moment, Josh Windass has been given in the goal. Wrexham go 2-1 up, and it's been an unbelievable game. Honestly, Adam and myself are sitting here. It has been relentless. It has been end to end. The tempo and the pace of the game is unbelievable. Wrexham have been the ones that have been snapping into tackles. Ipswich want to get control of the game. Matisua and Jack Taylor, they've been put under pressure. And I'd say Dobson, who's come on as sub for Wrexham, who's playing that little bit deeper, has been absolutely excellent for Wrexham, just getting the game ticking over.
It's been a brilliant listen as well. Athon getting Ipswich level just before the break. Stay tuned. Plenty more of that entertainment to come here on Talksport 2. The second half comes next.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
You're really building that business, Josh. That's because you chose to bank with Virgin Money, earning cash back on your supplies, turning expenses into rewards on everything from Sanders to skip hire. He came, he soared, he conquered. Open Virgin Money's M account for business now. UK excludes NI, Channel Islands and Isle of Man. 18 plus. Terms and exclusions apply. Cashback rate of 0.25% backed by the current account switch service. Virgin Money is a trading name of Clydesdale Bank PLC.
The moment they walk down the aisle, you want to see it all and feel ready. Our advanced eye test checks both your eyesight and eye health, so you feel confident in life's important moments. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan for early detection of conditions like glaucoma. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free NHS PRSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
With the Little Plus Bakery Spin, you can get a free bakery coupon every time you shop. Just scan Little Plus at the checkout, spin, win, and enjoy a free bakery item. Lidl, more to value. One spin per customer per day, subject to availability. Ends 25th of Feb. 18 plus GB only. T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
When you switch the family's unlimited plans to Vodafone, you save. So while Nan's learning to voice note,
can you hear this? Is this on?
You're saving. While your daughter's setting a new high score on her favourite game.
Get in!
You're saving. While your son's video calling his crush for 3 hours.
I love you more.
You're saving. Save more when you switch your family's plans to Vodafone with Vodafone Together. Eligible plans from the 30th of October. Credit check and terms apply.
I'm Professor Huggington, and I like to...
When your kid's favourite toy starts to run out of battery power, no need to worry. Your new batteries are already on their way, arriving today with Amazon Prime. Same-day delivery, it's on Prime.
I'm Professor Huggington, and I like to hug.
Geographic restrictions, cut-off times and T's and C's apply. Details on product page.
At Adrian Flux, we offer value-for-money specialist insurance for all kinds of vans and commercial vehicles. From couriers and caterers to plumbers, chippies, and even Mr. Whippies. Last year, our customers saved an average of 21% with a cost-effective, expertly tailored policy from Adrian Flux. Get van insurance that works hard for you and your business. Visit adrianflux.co.uk to get a call back today. Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual.
Online, on
DAB Plus and on the app.
This is Talksport 2. Hard-hitting football coverage on DAB Plus, online, via the Talksport app and on your smart speaker.
An absolutely magnificent effort!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Good afternoon, this is EFL Game Day Live. I'm Ollie Klink. We're midway through our second championship commentary of the day. Earlier, league leaders Coventry comfortably beat West Brom 2-0 at the Hawthorns, and it's been a thriller so far at the racecourse. Wrexham 2, Ipswich 2 at the break. Second half action to come. The 5:30 game in the top flight comes from the London Stadium, West Ham against Bournemouth. We're going to keep you across the game during the Game Day phone-in over on Talksport, and we can speak to our reporter Tom Clayton. Tom, West Ham, they've picked up in recent weeks. They were unlucky not to beat Manchester United, but it feels as if they've dragged themselves into a position where they can get out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon. And West Ham are in this odd position where they've won 3 out of 5 games, yet they still find themselves in the bottom 3. They could still do with some points. They could do with a win against Bournemouth this afternoon, but West Ham haven't beaten a team in the top 9 of the Premier League all season. So it's a real undertaking for them today, a real test of character. In the programme notes, Nuno's been talking about the mentality of the team. Meanwhile, if you look at the other teams around them, Forest are playing against Liverpool tomorrow, obviously Tottenham in the North London derby, which would be massive, but with Leeds United picking up 3 points as it stands, I'm not getting too excited, but Leeds, as they pick up 3 points today, West Ham could do with the 3, and if there's a big enough goal swing, they could find themselves out of the bottom 3 by tomorrow, the first time since match week 14.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much indeed. Right, it's time now for the half-time classifieds, starting with...
This is Game Day. Half-time classifieds.
In the Premier League at half-time, it's Aston Villa 0, Leeds United 1, Brentford 0, Brighton 2 and Chelsea 1, Burnley 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
In the 12:30s in the Championship, it finished Hull 1, QPR 3, Stoke 2, Leicester 2, Swansea 1, Bristol City 0 and West Brom 0, Coventry 2. You heard that live on Talksport 2. At half-time, it's Middlesbrough 0, Oxford 0, Millwall 0, Portsmouth 0, Norwich 0, Birmingham 2, Southampton 0, Charlton 0, Watford 1, Derby 0 and Wrexham 2, Ipswich 2.
Sky Bet League 1.
In the 12:30s in League 1, it finished Plymouth 5, Cardiff 2, Rotherham 1, Doncaster 2, Wycombe 3, Stevenage 1. At half-time, it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Bradford City 0, Bolton 0, Blackpool 0, Huddersfield 0, Barnsley 1, Luton 1, Burton 0, Mansfield 0, Lincoln 0, Northampton 0, Leyton Orient 1, Peterborough 1, Exeter 0, Port Vale 0, Reading 1 and Stockport 2, Wigan 2.
Sky Bet League 2.
In the early games, it finished Fleetwood 3, Barrow 2 and Swindon 1, Crewe 2. At half-time, it's Accrington 0, Shrewsbury 1, Bristol Rovers 2, Grimsby 1, Cheltenham 0, Salford 1, Colchester 1, Barnet 1, Crawley 0, Chesterfield 1, Gillingham 0, Oldham 2, Harrogate 0, Bromley 0, Newport 0, Cambridge United 0 and Notts County 1, Tranmere 0. Now, earlier on Talksport 2, it finished West Brom 0, Coventry 2. After the game, beleaguered West Brom boss Eric Ramsey spoke to our commentator Joe Shannon.
I absolutely have to believe that. I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't think that was the case. I mean, the situation I inherited, of course, it's worsened, but it wasn't dissimilar to this situation. I came into this situation feeling a real sense of optimism, positivity, and ability to meet the situation with level-headedness and the skill that's required to turn it around, and that hasn't changed. But it's a difficult situation, and I've got to make sure that I do what is right on the day-to-day basis and make sure I push the group.
Do you have to get a win on Tuesday?
I would never put it in those terms. I focus on performance, and performance leads to results, and they are the only things that I can control.
And I'm sure you're well aware of the situation. How concerning is that position in terms of the closeness to the relegation zone at the moment?
I think it's been a concern since I've been here, so it's not anything that's crept up on me or taking me by surprise in any way. Of course, we have to feel the fire. I'm not naive enough to think that that's not a factor in all this, and we have to acknowledge it. But also dwelling on the implications of that right now are just not important, and focusing on how we can move the group forward and the level of performance, and being really critical, but also trying to be really positive and take the group into Tuesday night in a good frame of mind. They're the things I'm focusing on.
It feels like they're giving you everything and they're trying as hard as they can. Does it just need a goal to lift the confidence of the players, lift the crowd, lift everybody?
Yeah, I don't feel that there is question marks around desire or commitment, togetherness. I think there's a lot of elements of the last 3 weeks that would point to that being in a good place, but it's a difficult situation that we have to own, and we've got to turn it round and move it forward with absolutely everything that we've got. And as I say, I push what is controllable. I make sure that the players, to the extent I can, focus on those things, and ultimately what lies on the other side of that is beyond my control. So again, I'm someone that tries to keep my focus very, very tight.
Just a last one, can you understand the reaction of some of the fans, or does it help the players during the middle of a game to hear things like that? A slightly negative atmosphere. Yeah,
I think if you were to ask a group of players what would be their preference in terms of performance levels, it would be support and connection and energy. But also, I'm not, again, naive enough to understand to not be able to grasp where that comes from, and why frustration amongst the fans has built over a reasonably long period of time now. But again, we have to deal with that. I'm not suggesting that it doesn't need to be acknowledged and it doesn't need to be talked about, and we have to have strategies to handle it when things aren't as we would like them to be in the stadium. And again, that is uncontrollable for us. What is controllable is building a base of performance that starts to re-establish that relationship with the crowd.
Damaging defeat for West Brom earlier. Eric Ramsey still without a win. His own fans singing that he was getting sacked in the morning. West Brom not quite in the bottom three, but teetering just a point above her. It's Leicester City on 33, just below them. What a first half we had between Wrexham and Ipswich, though, live on Talksport 2. Let's hope the second provides the same entertainment. Former Arsenal winger Perry Groves is there for us. Perry, that goal for Ipswich just before the break, it does a lot psychologically, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It just sort of swings the momentum back in Ipswich's favour, just scoring in added on time at the end of that first half. And it's been a really good game. You know when they say with boxing fights that different styles make fights, that's exactly what's happened here, because Wrexham want to be in your face, want to play high tempo. They're very, very strong in their 50-50, very physical. Ipswich want to, play a more sort of culture game where they get it down. Matasewa and Jack Taylor, just trying to dictate the tempo. So I think this has been a brilliant advert for the Championship. It's been absolutely relentless, and I'm not expecting anything different in the second half. Athol obviously took his goal really well, but sometimes I think it could be a little bit stronger in possession. But I'd say with his goal, you had the glimpse of his technical ability. If he gets that little bit of space, so sometimes it breaks down a little bit too easy. And Wrexham in the midfield area, I think Dobson's been really good since he come on. O'Brien just plays that little bit further in front of him. So there's all little individual battles that are going all over the pitch, but it has been a fantastic watch, and we're just really privileged, Ad, aren't we, that this is our job.
Indeed. And there's no VAR either on it.
Oh,
so
it's been
double bonus.
Lee Doughty, referee, has been excellent. There's been a couple of times in the first half there's been 3 players that have been on the floor, and he just walked over and gone, it's not a head injury, I'm just going to play on. Just get yourself up. Who would have thought it? They actually recover. It's amazing.
Oh, great stuff. That is Championship football at its best. That is why we are your home of the EFL. Let's get back to the racecourse ground and rejoin your commentary team. Perry Groves alongside Adam Bridge.
Thanks, Ollie. Rain looks like it's stopped, actually. It's very breezy. There's the Welsh Dragons flying in front of us here at the racecourse ground. Early goals going in as well in the Championship. What's going on at Portsmouth? Their away form had been dreadful till they picked up that victory in midweek at Charlton on Tuesday. They've lost one of their last 4 away in the Championship, and they're in front at Millwall. That's a Millwall side who've lost just one of their last 12 at home. Gustavo Caballero, the goal scorer at the start of the second half. Shrewsbury Town Well, as we mentioned earlier, since Dave Edwards went in there and joined in the fun as well, alongside their new manager Gavin Cowan, they've turned things around. They're 2 up at Accrington Stanley now at the start of the second half, and Notts County lead Tranmere Rovers by 2-0 as well. We are back underway here at the start of the second half. It's Wrexham in those red shirts, kicking from right to left in this second 45 minutes. Perry, is it one of those where can the second half be as good as the first?
Yeah, I think it can. I think because obviously the way that Wrexham play here at the racecourse ground, so they're on the front foot, they're very physical, and they get the ball forward very, very early. And so they've got to turn, if they want to get themselves into those playoff places, they have to turn their home form around, because it hasn't been particularly good here at the racecourse ground, but I think this first half has probably been one of their better performances.
Here's Ollie Rathbone on this near side, just runs into Darnell Furlong. There's a wave of the finger from our referee Lee Doughty, as if to say nope. He's been fairly consistent in those decisions. Let's run you through the 2 lineups. Conquo's in goal. It's Cleworth, Hyam and Doyle are the back 3. We've got Kabore and Thomason are the 2 wing backs. In midfield now it's Dobson who's alongside O'Brien, and then Rathbone supporting Moore and Windass, the 2 goal scorers for Wrexham. They've got defending to do here. Burns down this right hand side, left-footed ball played in too easily, only half clean. Oh, what a strike! Drilled into the back of the net by the arriving Cedric Kipre with a right-footed shot from the edge of the penalty area, curled beyond the outstretched arm of Okonkwo. That's an excellent goal from the centre half for Ipswich Town. It's his 3rd of the season, and it's Wrexham 2, Ipswich 3.
What a finish from Kipre with his right foot just on the edge of the D as the ball rolls to him. It's Byrne down that right hand side. I said I like the way he gets his crossing early. He gets his cross early, but he gets blocked as it rolls out. Kipre just with the instep of his right foot just casually strolls onto it, opens his body out and bends it past Okonkwo to his left hand side, gives him absolutely no chance whatsoever. 2 things about that. One, what's Kipre, the centre half, doing there in free play anyway, because you can tell that Kieran McKenna, Ipswich manager, said you want to play a bit further up the pitch. And 2, that is an unbelievable finish from a centre half. It just shows you the modern day game, the technicality of the players, because that is a finish that would grace any football stadium in the world and any player. Cristiano Ronaldo would have been absolutely delighted with a finish like that from the edge of the 18-yard box.
Less said about the Wrexham defending, I think, more than anything else in and around that penalty area. Not the best. Kipre then puts Ipswich Town in front for the first time in this game. Elsewhere, Southampton lead Charlton by a goal to 0. Ross Stewart on target for the Saints. Exeter have equalised at Peterborough. Jaden Wareham the goal scorer. Peterborough 1, Exeter City 1, and a second goal for Leyton Orient away at Northampton Town. James Morris has doubled the advantage of Orient early in the second half. And Orient, as we mentioned before, they've got the worst away record in League One, but they could be taking all 3 points this afternoon from the Cobblers. Dobson's given it away at the edge of his own penalty area. Athon holds the ball up nicely, picked up by Matusiwa. Now it's forward by the goal scorer Kipre. He gets it into the feet of Clark, who's got 3 red shirts around him. Still gets it away to Jack Taylor. Taylor on the charge in a central area, right for the ball out to Burns on this near side. Burns with a bit of space to play with. Gets the crossover, but it's a poor effort. Never under control, and goes out of play for what will be a goal kick to Wrexham. Now Ipswich side, Walton in goal, Furlong, O'Shea, Kipre and Davis, Matusiwa and Taylor the 2 central midfielders, Burns, Mametti and Clark supporting Athon, who is up top for Ipswich Town. What a start to the second half, and it's silenced the racecourse ground, apart from the 1,000 or so Ipswich fans away to our right hand side who've made a long journey. 4-hour journey for you today, Perry. Can't have been far off that for them.
I think they're probably just a little bit 20 minutes behind me. I think it took me like 4 hours. Nice little drive around the A14.
I did see the pickups in Ipswich when I was having a look. We're about 7:15 this morning, so it was an early start, a long day out. At the moment, the away supporters are getting the reward they came for. Keeper Moore on that far side. There's no one around him apart from Leif Davis and Dara O'Shea, who deal with the ball excellently. Kabore now on the charge. right-hand side. He's just turned backwards in the end. I think for a moment Windass thought he was in a good position to receive that, but Kabore thought otherwise. That's forward by Cleworth, but it's just dribbled all the way through to Cedric Kipre. The two number 4s just exchanging passes, and now Clark on a charge down that left-hand side. Brilliant run here from Athon. Athon's got support in the middle. He's going to tee it up for Clark, as he know. Athon's thinking of going alone, does find Clark. Now wide on this right-hand side into some spaces. Furlong with a chance to cross. Back instead to Mehmeti. Mehmeti now on his left foot at the edge of the penalty area. Matusiwa now to the right-hand side is Furlong again. It was a good counter that time from Ipswich, but they've just decided to keep the ball and be patient, which has allowed Wrexham to get into a decent shape.
Yeah, Athon missed a great chance there. Good play from Clark, just released on that left-hand side. He got into the 18-yard box, and he should be getting onto his left foot and getting his shot across a Conqueror. In the end, he decides to cut back inside. That enables Wrexham to get themselves back. Their back 5, get their shape all sorted out, and in the end, the attack just fizzles out.
Burns can't make anything of it down that right-hand side. It's good defending to cut the ball out of play. 6 minutes gone in this second half. Wrexham 2, Ipswich Town 3. As things stand, tomorrow lunchtime, the Steel City Derby is live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, a midday start. Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United. It was going to be a game potentially where Sheffield United could have relegated Sheffield Wednesday. We know they're going anyway, but it could have been the day. But I think that there was a talk of a stay of execution last night. I will check whether that's still feasible to happen tomorrow lunchtime, live on Talksport 2 from midday. Header out on this left-hand side, and it's just come as far down this right touchline as Burns again. There's lack of energy in this Wrexham side. Of course, they played midweek. It's been more than a week off for Ipswich Town, and it's showing at this moment in time. Spinning and turning is Mehmeti. Mehmeti, edge of the penalty area, looks to try and play a little 1-2 at the edge of the box with Taylor. Now the counter's on with Kiefer Moore down the left-hand side. Kabore's charging down the right-hand side, but Moore has got no one around him, and he has to try and make it alone, and there was 2 Ipswich players blocking him, including Dara O'Shea, who's then caught by Kiefer Moore on halfway, and that will be a free kick on this right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a good recovery actually from Jack Taylor, the Ipswich centre midfield player doing his defensive job. You said Kiefer Moore just progressing down this left-hand side. As you said there, he just sort of looked up. Nobody's with him. Windass was trying to get up support, probably about 20 yards behind. So Taylor did really well just to get his challenge in. And Ipswich unable to recycle the ball.
Millwall, so excellent at home. They trail Portsmouth by 2-0 now. John Swift on target with the second goal for Portsmouth, and Wimbledon lead Bradford City. That's just before half-time. It was a 3:30 kickoff in that game. Marcus Brown with the second goal for the Dons, and they lead by 2-0. On that far side, Ipswich have it deep inside their own half, towards their own penalty area. Kabore is tussling hard on that far side and committing the foul in the eyes of the referee, and it's a free kick for Ipswich Town just inside their own territory. Having the best of days, Kabore, so far. Certainly getting a bit of stick from some of the home supporters over some of the decisions he's coming up with. In League One, Exeter lead Peterborough now by 2-1. Jaden Wareham again for Exeter. Notts County 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Leighton Love with his second of the game. As eventually Ipswich take this free kick out wide to this right-hand side. Oh, lovely little back heel that time from Burns into the feet of Mehmeti. Got 2 around him, but Mehmeti does well to keep the ball. Finds Furlong. That wind has really picked up now at the racecourse ground, blowing from certainly right to left. So an advantage in the second half, you'd feel, for Wrexham if they get a chance to ever use it. Perry's Jelly Babies wrapper, I think, is about to go for a Burton. As on this near side, it's Athon again. There's a foul there and a free kick to Wrexham midway inside their own half. It's all got a little bit scrappy, and I think there's Thomason just angry, and a feeling that maybe there may have been a stud left on the hand of Thomason, potentially. 10,610 here today. 1,200 away supporters, and the first time Lee Doughty's got a little bit of aggro to deal with here.
Yeah, just a little coming together. Mehmeti.
Certainly an angry reaction from Thomason when he was laying on the floor, and I think Mehmeti may have trodden on his right hand when he was laying down, and a feeling, I think, from Thomason that it may have been deliberate, but not from referee Doughty. Foul there Matusiwa with a challenge on O'Brien. And now Wrexham very quickly taking the free kick in and around the edge of their own penalty area. Jayden Wareham's got another for Exeter. Peterborough 1, Exeter City 3. Equaliser for Huddersfield against Barnsley as well. Ryan Lenson on target for Liam Manning's side.
You can tell at half-time Kieran McKenna, Ipswich manager, said to his Ipswich players that he wants them to be more aggressive, wants them to do more on the front foot. They're starting to get their tackles in. The edge is starting to win the little 50-50s. Yeah, we saw a little incident there with Meti on Thompson, just getting a little bit edgy, where maybe in the first 10-15 minutes of the first half they was overrun a little bit. Just looking at Phil Parkinson.
Here's a chance, Rathbone gets it back from Keith Moore onto his right foot. Rathbone tries to slip it through to Moore again, feels for handball, but I think he was on the floor as Dara O'Shea then gets it clear, and it's on that far side in the feet of Dobson again as the sun tries to sneak out once more here at the racecourse ground, and suddenly there's a bit more life and a bit more energy in the home supporters following that attack on this near side. They're looking to take a free kick here quickly. Wes Burns is going to get himself booked for getting involved and delaying Doyle from taking it at speed. Another yellow card in this game. As we mentioned earlier, not too many dirty tackles, but the cards being racked up for sure.
Yeah, just looking at Wrexham, Ad, you said obviously they're not quite got the energy they had in the opening sort of 15-20 minutes of the first half. So I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Parkinson just coming up to 57 minutes played. Got the likes of Sam Smith on the bench, Nathan Broadhead would come on. We've got that little bit of invention, a little bit of pace.
Well, as we know, they like to play against their former side sometimes as well. Broadhead coming out to play against Ipswich potentially. I mentioned those yellow cards. We've had a fair few rattling up. Keeper, of course, got one. Furlong, Davis in the first half, Doyle, Kluwer. And as I say, not really a dirty tackle in the game at all. Lee Doughty keeping a firm grip on proceedings. Away to our right-hand side, Wrexham have it and try and build from the back with Dobson. Into the feet of O'Brien, who's been a bit quiet as well in the last few minutes. Down that right-hand side, they find Windass. Windass just turns back inside, looks for support. O'Brien's there, Dobson's behind him, but the options are limited. Tries to slip a lovely ball through. Thomason into the side netting with the first time left-footed shot. I think it was Wharton who may have got a touch on it. It's a brilliant ball from Windass. It's an excellent run from Thomason, and in the end they've won the corner.
Yeah, brilliant ball from Windass inside Furlong. Furlong putting his hand up, I think he'd be offside. Thomason just timed his run to perfection. He's actually got a big iron across Wharton there. Ipswich Town goalkeeper, he tries to get him at his near post. Good save from Wharton, low down to his right hand side. Corner for Wrexham on their left.
Rathbone is the player who is going to deliver this one in from this near side. So right footed, it's an in swinger. 6 red shirts all lurking around the edge of that 6-yard box. It's headed goalwards and then up in the air from Doyle, who's clattered by the keeper. It's a penalty, no doubt about it. Walton has caught Doyle and it is a penalty, and no hesitation from Lee Doughty to point to the spot.
Yeah, Walton just far too late. Lee Doughty, the referee, was in a fantastic position. I think the Wrexham players are going over to Lee Doughty wanting Walton to be sent off. I just think that he's just completely mistimed it. Adam just got there far too late. Really good decision from Lee Doughty, the referee. So Wrexham have a chance now to get themselves back in this game at 3-3.
13 minutes gone in the second half. He's flat on the floor is Callum Doyle, who was about to win the header before he got clattered on that occasion by Walton. The referee and the assistant all talking. Ollie Rathbone's been booked and given a yellow card. Now Lee Doughty will come over, and I suspect he is going to book Christian Walton for the challenge. No, he's gone past him. He's going to just check that Doyle's okay. And Doyle is up and about. Well, no, he's actually... Well, he did point to the spot. What's going on here? Keeper's got the... Well, now Walton's gone down. Well, now Walton's gone down, saying that he's got a problem following the collision with Doyle.
Referee looked like straight away that he pointed to the penalty spot.
He did, yeah. It looked like he did. Well, now we've got treatment for Walton, so there's going to be another delay here.
So he's now even saying that it's a foul on the goalkeeper.
Well, it looks like he's now changed his mind. Whether it's in consultation with his assistant, there was a conversation between the two of them, but there's no doubt that Doyle got caught. We're coming up to the hour mark here. That's what Wrexham, I think, were furious about, and that's why Ollie Rathbone has been booked. Because having initially pointed to the spot, there was no hesitation. He blew his whistle and pointed to the spot, but maybe in consultation with his assistant on the far side, who said, no, actually, I had a slightly better view.
But it can't be a foul on the goalkeeper, because Walton's come out, Doyle's got there first, and Walton's just clattered into him. Now Walton's obviously what goalkeepers do now, pretending that they're injured, where he was walking about for 3 or 4 minutes before that, because I think he thought that the penalty had been given.
Yep, I think everyone thought the penalty had been given, because he pointed to the penalty spot. Well, what an interesting call from the referee. Well, we've been praising him throughout the game. However, that not only is confusion, but it cannot be a foul on the goalkeeper.
No, because the goalkeeper, Walton, has got there late, and he's actually clattered into Doyle. Well, that's a very strange decision there from Lee Doughty.
Well, it certainly is. Yellow card as well, as me mentioned, for Rathbone. I just don't understand the thinking of Lee Doughty there. I'm sure Phil Parkinson will be furious, and just to make things worse for Doyle, he's off at the moment, of course, because he received some treatment, so he's got 30 seconds to spend off the field of play, and Wrexham are defending with 10 men. Yet obviously Walton said he was down injured, and there's no punishment in any way, shape or form for Ipswich. Doesn't feel quite right, Perry.
No, I think they've got to change the rule for obviously the goalkeepers when they go down, where if your goalkeeper goes down and pretends that he's injured or is injured, then an outfield player, I think, has got to go off for that 30 seconds.
Well, there has to be something. Millwall have pulled a goal back against Portsmouth. Casper De Noor, the goal scorer for Millwall. They were 2 down, of course. Peterborough pulled one back against Exeter. Peterborough 2, Exeter 3. Harry Leonard, the goal scorer. And it's going to be a Wrexham throw on that far side, because possession just lost that time by Jack Taylor. And maybe that sense of justice will just fire Wrexham up a little bit more here. Right-footed ball forward towards Keith and Moore. Can't quite get there. There is some action on the bench on that far side. Nathan Broadhead, I think, being one of those that is being prepared by Phil Parkinson on that far side. But certainly a bit of fury around here that the referee, having initially pointed to the spot, has then changed his mind. Here's Furlong down this right-hand side. Goes back towards the edge of the penalty area. O'Shea. Here's Walton to the left. Keepray, edge of his own penalty area, up towards Athon. Now Moore just trying to put some pressure on Keepray. In fact, Windass is going to be the player to go and press him at the edge of the penalty area. Here's Doyle, back on. Left-footed ball clipped forward. Moore will try and chase, but again, they've got this wind, which is now aiding Wrexham, but seems to be really kind of picking the balls up as they're moving them forward. And it's going to be a double change for Wrexham on that far side.
Yeah, no surprise at all. Phil Parkinson, I think he's just realised that, say, the energy levels of Wrexham have just dropped, coming up to 64 minutes played. So now, obviously, we want his impactors now from the bench, just to raise that level for Wrexham a little bit, because Ipswich have just looked a little bit more controlled in possession when they're playing out from the back than they did in the first half. Because Wrexham have lost that sort of half a yard to a yard. O'Shea and Kipré, got a little bit more time on the ball, the two Ipswich centre halves, just to play it laterally from left to right and just try and kill the game.
Ollie Rathbone is departing, and we're also going to see Kabore depart as well. So Ryan Longman is one of the players coming on, and Nathan Broadhead is the other. So Longman will just slip in on that right-hand side at right wing-back, and Broadhead will come on and play in that advanced position alongside Windass and Keith and Moore. Marlon Pack has restored the 2-goal advantage for Portsmouth at the Den. Millwall 1, Portsmouth 3. Bolton lead against Blackpool. Toll, the goal scorer. And Bristol Rovers now need Grimsby by 3-1 in League 2. Down this right-hand side, here's O'Shea. Short to Furlong. Broadhead is up against his former side, just almost taken to the cleaners a bit there by Furlong. Picked up by Matusiwa. Place the ball out wide on that left-hand side. Back once more with Clark. Clark on the charge towards the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand edge. Still going inside the box. Clark looks to pull it back, but just pulls it back to the feet of Lewis O'Brien. And it's just pumped clear by Wrexham 2 anywhere. Keith Moore tries to get there against Furlong. Furlong wins the header and finds O'Shea. And inside their own half, Ipswich will look after the ball quite nicely. 25 minutes remaining on Talksport 2. You're home of the EFL. And it stands at this moment in time, Wrexham 2, Ipswich Town 3, but here come Wrexham, here comes Broadhead, edge of the penalty area, right-footed shot, takes a deflection, Thomason! And it's 3-3! Fortuitous deflection lands at the feet of the former Bolton man, who fires in his first goal in a Wrexham shirt, low and beyond Walton, into the bottom corner. And what more is to come from this terrific game at the Racecourse Ground? It's Wrexham 3, Ipswich Town 3.
Brilliant finish from Thomason, kept his cool. Really good play from Broadhead. And Phil Parkinson wanted Broadhead to have an effect on this game. Exactly what he's done. He picks the ball up in the centre circle. He just progressive with it. Ipswich back off. Matasiwa should go and engage him. He backs off. O'Shea and Kipray back off. Broadhead gets himself back 20 yards out, gets his shot away. It gets blocked. Then it ricochets to Thomason on this left-hand side of the 18-yard box. He drills it past Walton in the Ipswich Town goal. Gives him absolutely no chance low down to his right-hand side. Game on here at the Racecourse Ground. Wrexham get themselves back into it at 3-3 against Ipswich Town.
It's been game on since it started, hasn't it? Let's be fair.
It's never been game off, has it?
Wrexham 3, Ipswich 3 then, and we've still got at least another 24 minutes of this drama to play out here on Talksport 2 at the Racecourse Ground. I hope tonight, when we bring you over on Talksport, the game between Manchester City and Newcastle from the Premier League, live and exclusive for national radio. That's from 8 o'clock on Talksport. I hope it's as exciting as this game's been today. We've already brought you a live commentary from the Championship that saw Coventry reassert their authority at the top of the table, up to 65 points with that 2-0 win against West Brom, who were hovering just outside the relegation zone. That was partly because of Leicester's 2-2 draw against Stoke today as well. Hull lost 2 at home against Queen's Park Rangers. Of course, Hull are in those promotional playoff places, and these two vying and fighting and very much in the mix at the top of the table to try and get a spot in the Premier League for next season. Here's the goal scorer, Thomason, down this left-hand side, into the feet of Broadhead. Little flick towards Keith Moore, doesn't quite come off. Matasiwa is fouled by Nathan Broadhead, who's had an instant impact in this game. And it will be a free kick for Ipswich midway inside their own half.
Yeah, Broadhead just obviously playing this sort of left-hand side for Wrexham. Really good link-up play. As soon as he's come on with him and Thomason, who's obviously the left wing-back for Wrexham. You can see the Wrexham fans got their belief back. They started to get a little bit sort of a disquiet was coming, wasn't it, for 5 minutes when Ipswich Town went obviously 3-2 up from Kipray's goal just at the beginning of the second half. Now the Wrexham fans have started believing.
It's funny when you look at Wrexham's numbers from throughout the season. Only Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday have fewer touches in the box, but they're so effective when they get in and around it. That shot conversion is exceptional. Here's O'Brien. Broadhead from the edge of the box, straight at Walton, who comfortably makes the save.
Oh, good link-up play. O'Brien and Broadhead just causing Ipswich all sort of problems in this inside left position. As he got into his right foot, I think he should just be starting it outside Walton's left-hand post, probably about another yard or so. In the end, he doesn't quite get the right contact. Easy save for Walton.
Throw in for Wrexham on this near side. Matasiwa was down, but again, the referee not interested unless it's a proper head injury. Being quite firm. Okonkwo down this left-hand side. I don't think Okonkwo's actually had a save to make in the game, has he? He's picked the ball out of the net 3 times without actually having to make a stop. Here is Broadhead again on halfway. Point to prove for the man bought from £10 million from Ipswich at the close of the summer transfer window. Down that right-hand side. Right-footed ball, corner it's going to be, is it? To take a deflection, well, I'd have been demanding that was a corner if I was Ryan Longman, because that's a dreadful cross. Triple change coming for Ipswich Town on that far side. Wesley Fofana has just seen red for Chelsea in the game at home against Burnley. They still lead by a goal to 0. Norwich have pulled one back against Birmingham City. Kenny McLean, the goal scorer for Norwich. Wes Burns is going off. Casey McAteer, the former Leicester man, is coming on. Jack Taylor departing too. And we're also seeing the introduction of Marcelino Nunes to replace Anis Mehmeti as well. Triple change then for Ipswich Town.
Yeah. Obviously, Kieran McKenna wants to wrestle control back in. That's why Nunes has come on. He's very, very good in possession. Just very graceful. Always offers himself up, always makes the right angle. So that's not a surprise for Ipswich Town manager. Because of the impact that the two Wrexham subs have had, with Broadhead and Longman over on that right-hand side.
And Dan Neal coming into midfield as well. His experience, of course, from his time at Sunderland. Dan Neal, 200 appearances in all competitions for Sunderland, still only 24 years of age. Big thing to leave his boyhood club and come down to Ipswich Town on loan. That's brilliant on that far side. Here's Kiefer Moore inside the box. Just can't quite do enough with it with the help of Longman. It's well picked up, and the charge on from Leif Davis, who gets it up that far touchline. Interception though is good from Hyam. Windass takes it down. Matasiwa has lost out to Broadhead almost at the edge of his own penalty area, and it's picked up on this right hand side by Furlong into the feet of Nunes, who's missed 4 games through injury but is back. Hasn't scored since November though. Impact has been minimal in front of goal for Kieran McKenna's side. We're into the last 19 minutes. You're listening to the EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees applied to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. Referee says no foul on Lewis O'Brien, and Ipswich will try and break away, which they do with Athon on that far side. Here's Clark out to the right boot looking for Athon, who levelled the game up in stoppage time at the end of the first half. We're still level. I mean, they've each scored once more. Wrexham 3, Ipswich 3. O'Brien just trying to combine with Longman on that far side. Doesn't quite work out. Ball spins out of play, and it will be a throw-in on that far side for Ipswich. Equaliser for Blackpool at Bolton Wanderers. Hayden Coulson, the goal scorer for Blackpool. In fact, that 73 minutes that goal's gone in to make it 1-1. Here's Walton, greeted every time with a boo after the incident involving him and Callum Doyle. Ryan Hardy, of course, who left in the transfer window from Wrexham to Huddersfield Town, has put them 2-1 up against Barnsley. And there's a slip over in the middle of the park from Nunes, who ends up on his backside and gives the ball away to Wrexham.
Yeah, it was good play actually from Walton into Nunes, and you said there he just slipped over. Have a look, see if he's got right studs in his boots, because you don't get divots or bobbles there unless a mole's popped up at him. That doesn't happen in the modern day game.
Not on this surface as well, Perry.
Exactly, but isn't it? Just a little insight there into see Nunes coming on, because he's the one that said he will look to get himself on the ball in that sort of central area in the number 10 position, and McAteer coming out onto this right hand side so he can get himself 1v1 up against Thompson.
Thomason, Windass and Dobson combine brilliantly on that far side, and it's forward from Cleworth. Here's Longman, who's the substitute on the charge, taking on Leif Davis. Longman, who's had a terrific season last season, been on the fringes this time round really. Did score against Norwich and Sheffield United so far. Here's Windass, good quick feet from him to get away from the pursuing Ipswich Town players. Now down this left-hand side, it's Thomason again, who gives it short once more to Windass. Thomason looks to cut infield, and he does well to find Broadhead, keeping the ball nicely on this near side Wrexham. They will force themselves back as well once more, and Thomason will just go inside the centre circle. O'Brien combines with Dobson, and Wrexham with a sustained spell of pressure. Thomason keeping the ball nicely. Oh, what a ball that is towards the back post when Longman's arriving. It was too far ahead of Kiefer Moore. It was in the perfect position, right across the edge of the 6-yard area. No one to steer it home, but they do get a corner.
That had a knife and fork on that plate there from Thomason. Fantastic cross from this left-hand side. Wrexham works it really well from the right-hand side over to left. Doyle just releasing Thomason. He's just whipped it in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. Kiefer Moore gives a big thumb up. He should be in between the posts. If he is, he sticks it in.
Here's the corner, left-footed, swung over, and in from Callum Doyle, and Wrexham are in front, and it's Doyle with the header. from close range, his second championship goal of the season, and there's pandemonium at the racecourse ground. They're on their feet around us. It's a 7-goal thriller that right now is going the way of the Red Dragons. It's Wrexham 4, Ipswich Town 3.
Well, he missed a sitter in the first half when he was unmarked from 6 yards out. This time is a bit more difficult from Doyle as the ball swung in from that right-hand side, in swinging with the left foot. Then he's found himself unmarked from 8 yards out. Make sure this time he gets great connection, gives Walton Ipswich Town goal absolutely no chance whatsoever. Brilliantly worked set piece from Wrexham Town. From Wrexham, took themselves back in front, 4-3 here at the racecourse ground against Ipswich Town.
We still have 15 minutes left here. You have a feeling the drama isn't done yet. Wrexham 4, Ipswich Town 3, quarter of an hour remaining. What an enthralling afternoon of championship football on your home of the EFL. And that is why we love bringing it to you here on Talksport 2. Oh, a chance for Ipswich. Maybe they can get level again in this game. Twice Wrexham got in front, twice Ipswich pegged them back. Then they found themselves ahead. But now it's Wrexham who are back in the ascendancy again. Furlong down the right-hand side. Gives that ball short, and trying to cut in here is McAteer towards the edge of the penalty area. Matu Siwa. Now Furlong, left-footed ball towards that back post. It's chested down. Left edge of the penalty area. With the ball at his feet is Clark. It's Kipre. Excellent cross towards Nunez, but it's cleared away. Matu Siwa again on this right-hand side. Here's Furlong on his right foot. Clips the ball towards that back post. Headed up and away. There's no foul. I think Wrexham wanted a foul. It's not given. Taken down by McAteer at the edge of the penalty area. They're queuing up. Jack Clark, left edge of the penalty area. Still going. Brilliant tackle from Lewis O'Brien. Outstretched right boot just to win the ball and take it off of Clark's toes. It was superb.
Great sliding tackle, brilliantly timed from O'Brien. He said there, just taking it off of Jack Clark's toe. So O'Brien has been very, very good for Wrexham throughout the whole game. So he's just playing a little bit further in front of Dobson, and it was his brilliant in-swinging corner from the right-hand side for Wrexham with his left foot that found the head of Doyle to give Walton absolutely no chance at Ipswich Town goal. So the pendulum now was swung right back in Wrexham's favour, and now Phil Parkinson will be hoping that his team don't sit deep, because that's what you tend to do when you're in front, and especially it's a massive game for Wrexham to jump into those playoff positions. And they've just turned the game around from going 3-2 down just after half-time from Kipre's brilliant finish from Ipswich on the edge of the 18-yard box. Thomason and Doyle putting Wrexham 4-3 in front.
Cambridge lead at Newport County. Liam Bennett, the goal scorer. Cambridge are flying right now. Lost just one of the last 18 in League Two as things stand. As I'm sure if you listen to the warm-up on either Saturday or Sunday, you'll hear Max Rushton crowing about quite frequently. Gillingham 0, Oldham 3. Mike Fondop, the goal scorer for Oldham. They've gone just one of their last 6 away in League Two, and they're about to add a second victory to that as well. And you're up to date with the goals in the Premier League. Just to remind you where things stand, it's Chelsea 1, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 0, Leeds 1, Brentford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, with Manchester City against Newcastle live on Talksport from 8 o'clock tonight. Dire O'Shea put under tremendous pressure here by Keith Moore, who works so incredibly hard. He concedes the throw, level with the Ipswich Town penalty spot, although Furlong's trying to gain 7 or 8 yards here. Referee's having none of it, but the work rate of Keith Moore continues.
Yep, he's led the line brilliantly for Wrexham. Say in the first half he's just out to that left-hand side. The second half he stayed a little bit more central, and what you want is, if you've got your lone centre forward, you've got to make sure he sets off the press. Exactly what he did there with O'Shea, who found himself in the right back position. Keith Moore just come across, make sure he got his block in. That enabled Wrexham to get their defensive shape.
One for you, Perry. Jack Payne penalty makes it Colchester 2, Barnet 1. And a second goal for Cambridge United against Newport County. Sully Kaikai with a goal for Cambridge United.
So is Max actually supporting Cambridge now and not Spurs?
Yeah, I think so.
He might put his Spurs cap on tomorrow.
On halfway, Wrexham have it. We are 11 minutes away from the end of this game. It's Wrexham 4, Ipswich 3. I'm quite happy to stay there if they want to keep playing for a bit longer. Little shove there on Lewis O'Brien. on this near side by Casey McAteer. But again, Lee Doherty not giving it. He's not giving away many soft fouls in this game, I think it's fair to say. Here's Dan Neal winning the ball in the middle of the park against Josh Windass, and it is a free kick that goes Ipswich's way midway inside their own half.
Just looking at Marcelino Nunes, he's come on. I think he's wearing roller skates. He's just looking at the sole of his boots there. That's the third time that he's actually slipped over.
Another change coming for Ipswich. Matasiwa is going to depart, and we're going to see Akpom is coming on. So another attacker. Well, they're really going for it then, Ipswich. 4-3 down in this game with 10 minutes to go. How will that change their shape, I wonder? He looks like he's going into the 10 position, Akpom, and I think Nunes will just drop back deeper in midfield. The rain's got heavier, absolutely bucketing down at the racecourse ground. Clark on that far side, edge of the penalty area. Comes back to Dan Neal, 25 yards out from goal. Thinks about shooting, does. Goes low across the ground. It's an excellent block inside the penalty area. He may go again here, Neal. Out to the left-hand side. Keepro, the scorer of the third goal for Ipswich, is there. He finds Jack Clark running the edge of the penalty area. Here's Neal, slipping it through into the box. Lovely little flick on. And the clearance comes, and it will be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Just for a moment, I think Ipswich were thinking they might get something there, but it's well defended in the end, and it will be a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a great little layoff from Akpom as the ball rolled across his body. He just put it into George Hurst, who couldn't quite get his first touch under control, ended up coming off of his shin, going out for a goal kick. Obviously, the Wrexham goalkeeper, Okonkwo's not going to be any particular hurry to take it. He's just made sure that he's pushed his whole team into Ipswich's half.
Yeah, George Hurst hasn't scored a goal since the 6th of December in the Championship. We've talked about Max Rushton over on Talksport and the warm-up being very happy. I think Adrian Durham might be happy. Harry Leonard has made it Peterborough 3, Exeter 3 this afternoon. Keep Bray under pressure there from Keith Moore. Goals galore. Not quite got to the 7 we've had here at the racecourse ground this afternoon. 8 minutes to go to full time, although I suspect there'll be 5 or 6 minutes added here, so probably a good quarter of an hour still to play. Wrexham 4, Ipswich Town 3. On Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Sheffield Derby tomorrow lunchtime. The Still City got the action for you from midday. Akpom is down that left-hand side towards the byline. Looks to cut that ball back, and the acrobatic shot. Nunes headed off the line. It's a brilliant header away off the line. Comes from Dom Hyam. The shot was definitely heading in for Marcelino Nunes, and it's a brilliant header away.
Yeah, really good play down the left-hand side from Akpom. Get himself to the byline, cutting it back, come out to Nunes. Got a really good volley, just hit it down into the turf. You said there Doyle did brilliantly, just made sure that he got himself back on the goal line, headed his ball clear. You can tell that Ipswich have just started to get that little bit of momentum. As I said, it's natural for Wrexham just to drop that little bit deeper, what they've started to do. You've got Akpom playing in the 10 behind Hurst, with Azon just playing a little bit deeper.
Bolton 2, Blackpool 2, and Cheltenham 2, Salford 2. Plenty of goals around this afternoon in the EFL. Here's Clark towards the edge of the penalty area, right-footed ball towards that back post, nodded down, and Okonkwo does have to gather that. That header was trying to sneaking at this near post from McAteer, but it's well gathered that time by Okonkwo.
Yeah, that's where you want Hurst coming in at the far post instead of McAteer. Got his header in, just headed it down. In the end, it was a simple save from Okonkwo low down to his left-hand side.
Here come Wrexham inside their own half. O'Brien all through to Broadhead. He's got support from Longman. Here comes Keith Moore. Here comes Windass as well. Broadhead through the middle. Tees it up for Windass, who fires the shot. Punched away by Wharton towards the edge of his own penalty area, where Clark will pick up the loose ball ahead of Longman on that far side. And O'Brien then charges down that attempted clearance at the edge of the penalty area from Leif Davis. And that just typifies the desire of O'Brien throughout this game.
Yeah. O'Brien just making sure that he gets the block in, but really good play initially from Broadhead, again playing in that inside left position, just gets to the edge of the box, just rolls it out to Windass. Windass with his right foot just tries to bend it into Wharton's top left-hand corner. In the end, he doesn't quite get enough whip with it, just comes back into Wharton, simple save. Then Windass goes down. I think he might have just sort of stretched his groin a little bit. He ends up walking off the pitch.
Yep, Windass is off. And the change sees the introduction into midfield of Zach Viner for his debut. So another change for Wrexham. We've seen 5 of the front 6 have changed for Ipswich Town. We now see Zach Viner coming on for Wrexham as they try and close this game out. Left-footed ball forward from Viner down this near side. Chase is on. O'Shea is going to see it all the way back to Walton, is he? Under pressure from Keitha Moore. And Keitha Moore's won that ball back off O'Shea. Now O'Brien, in space is Broadhead. Chance for Broadhead to seal it! Nathan Broadhead against his former side scores Wrexham's 5th, and surely that's all 3 points for the Red Dragons. The flags are flying at the racecourse ground. It's a brilliant finish for Nathan Broadhead against his former side, and Wrexham have 5 once more. It's Wrexham 5, Ipswich Town 3.
What a brilliant finish from Broadhead. Played from O'Brien. He's been Wrexham's best player. Just then feeds it out to Broadhead on the left-hand side. He just nicks it onto his right foot, and then he opens his body out, gives Walton absolutely no chance. And the Ipswich Town goal to put Wrexham 5-3 up here at the racecourse ground against Ipswich Town. And I love the fact as well that Broadhead celebrated. And I'm fed up with players not celebrating against their former team. He actually knew that he's made the game safe from Wrexham. Just had a big knee slide down on the left-hand side, come over to the Wrexham fans. The Wrexham fans went absolutely bat crazy over to our left-hand side. What a fantastic game we've seen here at the racecourse ground. What a brilliant advert for the Championship.
I don't know what it is about this place. I came here on Boxing Day. It finished 5-3 as well then. Attracting the goals in Wrexham. Wrexham 5, Ipswich Town 3. We have 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Well, we did wonder if there was more drama to come, and we have not been disappointed. We worried at half-time that the second half wouldn't be as good as the first. I think it's lived up to those expectations. All the drama of the Championship, all the goals, right here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Clark on that far side with a header down. Cleworth is fouled by Leif Davis. Free kick for Wrexham in the right back position away to our right hand side. Let's just remind you of the scores as things stand in the Premier League. Aston Villa 0, Leeds 1, Brentford 0, Brighton 2, Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. West Ham against Bournemouth. Remember, Chelsea down 10 men there, by the way. West Ham against Bournemouth is the 5:30 kickoff. We've got the 8 o'clock game live tonight, Manchester City against Newcastle United. In the Championship earlier on today, we brought you live West Bromwich Albion 0, Coventry City 2. Coventry back on top, 4 points ahead of Middlesbrough. Hull 1, Queen's Park Rangers 3. It finished. Stoke 2, Leicester 2, and Swansea 1, Bristol City 0. And then the latest scores as things stand. Middlesbrough losing ground to Coventry, 0-0 against Oxford. Here's Keitha Moore. Keitha Moore inside the box. Broadhead tries to go after it. Appeals for handball. Referee says no. And here comes Akpom. He's brought down by Dobson. He's rugby tackled by Dobson. Well, to be fair to Dobson, the way Wales have been playing, he could probably get a job somewhere in the midfield for the Welsh rugby team. He'll get a yellow card for that. No doubt about it, and it will be a free kick for Ipswich 10 yards inside the Wrexham half.
To be fair, it was absolutely perfect technical tackle there from Dobson, and the rugby union should be in the Six Nations, because he's wrapped his arms around Akpom, and as he's wrapped his arms around, Akpom tries to get away and he drops his arms down, then makes sure that he trips him up. Quite rightly, Lee Doherty, the referee, gives Dobson the red card. Yellow card.
Leif Davis swings that one in towards the back post. McAteer is there, and the driven shot is blocked. There's appeals for handball. Referee waves it away. Right-footed ball swung back over into the danger zone, and Okonkwo's there to gather. Equaliser at Villa Park. Tammy Abraham, 88th minute. Aston Villa 1, Leeds United 1. I was telling you about the goals in the Championship. Well, it remains 0-0 at the Riverside between Middlesbrough and Oxford. So it could be a good day for Coventry. Oh, O'Brien's onside here. Right-hand side by the corner flag for Wrexham. We're in the final minute of normal time. Out of play for a throw to Wrexham. Millwall 1, Portsmouth 3. A great result for both of these sides. Millwall losing ground in the race for the playoffs. Norwich 1, Birmingham 2. Southampton 1, Charlton 1. Watford 1, Derby 0. And as you know, here at the Racecourse Ground, it's Wrexham 5, Ipswich Town 3 as things stand. Burnley have equalised at Chelsea. Wow. Down to 10 men, as we mentioned, Chelsea, but an equaliser for Burnley, who suddenly seem to be fighting for their lives.
Should never give them 4 days off. Leon Rossini. But Fofana get himself, was it sent off?
He is often an accident waiting to happen, Wesley Fofana. Here's Marcelino Nunes. Let's find out how many added minutes we're going to have here at the Racecourse Ground. If they said another 90, Perry, I'm happy to stay. I don't know about you.
It's been absolutely amazing. So 90 minutes gone. It seems like it's been 10 minutes, Adam, does it? The way that the game's been played, the pace of the game. We wondered whether it could continue in that second half, which it absolutely has. It has been absolutely relentless. Both teams have played their part, but Phil Parkinson, the Wrexham manager, will be absolutely excited with the sort of battling qualities of his side. Obviously going 3-2 down at the beginning of the second half from Kipre's goal. And then he made his substitutions, brought on Broadhead and said, I want you to go and have an impact on this game, and is exactly what he's done. It was his shot that got blocked for Thomason's goal, which got Wrexham back into it at 3-3, and he scored the goal to put Wrexham 5-3 up and just ease the tension in the Racecourse Ground.
Zian Fleming with a goal for Burnley, by the way. Burton have got a late equaliser against Luton Town in stoppage time. Fabio Tavares, the goal scorer for Burton. And Watford have added a second against Derby County, Dumbia. So Ed Steele will get his first win as Watford boss as they lead Derby County by 2-0. We're in 6 added minutes here. We've had 1 of the 6 so far. Marcelino Nunes out wide to this right-hand side. Here's Furlong, right-footed ball, swung into the box, headed up in the air by Cleworth. Half away on that far side by Thomason. Then Dobson helps it out to the edge of the penalty area. Clark is there on his left foot. Left-footed ball swung in from that far side by a tired-looking Leif Davis, but it's blocked out for a throw to Wrexham.
Yeah, can see Wrexham have got their 9 outfield players behind the ball, just leaving Kiefer Moore up front. Maybe they can have a little out ball. But understandably, Wrexham are just trying to hang on to this 5-3 lead that they have. Ipswich are still pushing, still pressing.
This would be a win that would take them into the top 6. Comes back as far as Cedric Kipre. Right-footed ball in from him. Headed away once more by Cleworth. Now trying to charge forward on this near touchline is Kipre again. Clips the ball over the top. First header is up in the air. Second from Doyle. Comes out to Clark. Left-hand edge of the penalty area. Cutting onto his right foot. Teeing it up for Davis. Now for Dan Neal. 25 yards out from goal. Here's Nunes to this right-hand side. Here's McAteer on the run, onto his left foot, looking to try and switch play. And he's again in pass to the invisible man, because it's gone right out of play on the far side. And it will be a throw-in on that far touchline for Wrexham midway inside their own half.
Yeah, as McAteer just cut inside there, I think he thought that Jack Clark was going to give him a bit more width on that left-hand side. He said, yeah, he just put the ball completely out of play. And a massive cheer from the Wrexham fans, because they know obviously it's going to waste another 30 to 40 seconds just trying to run the clock down, just coming up to 3 minutes of added on time played here at the end of the game.
Looking at this table as well, it's going to be Wrexham in 6th, Birmingham in 7th. The two teams, or two of the sides promoted from League One last season, hovering in and around those playoff places. Who's to say it's not possible that both of those sides could get themselves into the playoff positions? Who knows? Mansfield 0, Lincoln 2. Tom Bayliss. Lincoln flying high, and with Cardiff losing earlier today. Cheltenham have got a late winner against Salford. Cheltenham 3, Salford 2, 96th minute, and Crawley have equalised against Chesterfield. Late goals going in everywhere. Is there more to come here at the Racecourse Ground? Furlong swings it to the far side. Good header over the crossbar though. Bit of power in that from Hurst, but never on target, never troubling a Conquo. And we've got just over 2 minutes left.
Yeah, Furlong just on this right-hand side, feeding the ball into the box. Hurst found himself unmarked, 10 yards out. He said there, he got a good power on the header, but it was never ever going to trouble Conquo in Wrexham's goal. Just goes aimlessly over the crossbar. Again, Okonkwo just making sure, just pushing all the Wrexham players right up the pitch. The centre halves, Clayworth, Hyman and Doyle, just making sure that they keep it nice and compact so that Ipswich can't get themselves in the pockets and get back at them.
And there's no doubt that Wrexham at times today looked a bit labouring. They looked like they were just going to fall a bit short, and Ipswich at the start of the second half taking control of this game, but the spirit and the fight shown by Phil Parkinson's side, and some excellent goals as well, and Broadhead's introduction certainly helped make that tick.
Well, he brought Longman and Broadhead on, didn't he, at the same time? Longman over as the right wing back position, but obviously Broadhead came in this inside left position, and he's had that massive impact. Probably a bit fed up that he was left out at the starting 11, so he's definitely made that impact and proved the point.
Yeah, certainly did. Windass, of course, and Keitha Moore scoring in the first half, having been brought into the team, but Broadhead proves his point as well. Here's Clark towards the edge of the penalty area. Again, the rain falling heavily in the Welsh hillsides. Okonkwo gathers nicely, and we'll see out the last 30 seconds or so of the 6 added here. Right-footed ball launched forward, and there'll be some roar when that full-time whistle goes from referee Lee Doughty, that's for sure. Throwing on the far side for Ipswich Town. 1,200 fans have made the journey from Suffolk. It's a long road back, in disappointment for sure. An away record that's not looking good. They've only won 2 of the last 7 away. No defeat today on the road for Ipswich Town beckons. And the referee blows the full-time whistle, and no surprise, the racecourse ground is on his feet in celebration. Another enthralling afternoon of drama. And who knows, maybe the Hollywood ending to this championship season is on the cards for this Wrexham side. There's certainly something going on at the racecourse ground as they move up into the playoff places, into 6th spot in the championship, and they've done it going toe-to-toe with one of the best sides in the division. Keitha Moore with the lead on 6 minutes for Wrexham. Wonderful strike, an absolute beauty with his left foot from just inside the penalty area. Anis Mehmeti rifled it into the roof of the net to make it 1-1 after 20 minutes. George Windass's header restoring the advantage for the home side 8 minutes before half time, and then in added time at the end of the first half it was Athon with a lovely finish after a flick from Jack Taylor to make it 2-2. 2 minutes into the second half, Cedric Kipre of all people, a right-footed curler from the edge of the box to put Ipswich in front. But the introduction of Nathan Broadhead made a massive difference to Wrexham. George Thomason made it 3-3 after Broadhead deflected shot found him on the left-hand side. Callum Doyle's header 15 minutes before the end put Wrexham in front, and it was Broadhead himself against his former side 4 minutes before the 90 who wrapped the points up for Phil Parkinson's side. They're in terrific form. That's 7 wins in the last 11 in the championship. They're into the playoff places, and maybe, just maybe, the dream of these Red Dragons roaring into the Premier League could well happen. Full time at the racecourse ground, an absolute thriller and a feast of EFL football. It's finished Wrexham 5, Ipswich 3.
Adam Bridge, you now have a chance to catch your breath. Thank you very much. What a thrill ride that was. Relentless Wrexham rocking to a 5-3 win. It's a damaging result for Ipswich Town and their automatic promotion hopes, but it pulls the Red Dragons right into that playoff picture. Perry, what a brilliant game of football. What a performance from Wrexham. What a huge result, though, as well, which launches them into that top 6.
Yeah, a massive result from Wrexham, because obviously going 3-2 down early on in the second half to Kiprade's really good finish with the intercept with his right foot that gave Okonkwo absolutely no chance. And then you're just thinking, they just look like they've lost a little bit of energy. And then what managers do if the team aren't affecting the game, the managers think, right, I've got to affect the game. So on the 65th minute, he brought on Longman and Broadhead and said, go and change the game. And it's exactly what Broadhead did, because in the 66th minute, he picked the ball up in the inside left position. He had a shot, it got blocked to come to Thompson, and he just fired it past Walton, give him absolutely no chance to put Wrexham back in it at 3-3. And then it was who was going to blink first. And to be fair, Ipswich, they went to try and win the game at 3-3, so the game got a little bit more open. But it was the energy and the quality that Broadhead brought when he came on, because you can tell that he was angry. He was angry that he'd been left out. And what you want is your I would say subs are not their impactors now and finishers to go on and have an effect, and he's exactly what he did. Then Wrexham go in front 4-3, really good corner from the right hand side from O'Brien, curling with his left foot, Doyle completely unmarked, brilliant header, again give Walton absolutely no chance. Then it looked like Wrexham was sit a little bit deep, but then Broadhead said, no, I'm going to change it all again. O'Brien gets the ball in the centre of the park. He just rolls it out to Broadhead on this left-hand side, gets it on his right foot, just bends it past Walton. Wrexham go 5-3 up. Game is done and dusted. Wrexham have conceded 27 goals at home here at the Racecourse Ground in Championship season hole, but who cares? Who cares? Because it's only Sheffield Wednesday have conceded more. But if you're going to see games like this and be entertained like this, these Wrexham fans, there's probably 9,500 in here at the Racecourse Ground. They've gone home unbelievably happy, and they've gone home with the belief that their team maybe can get themselves into the Premier League, just obviously jumping, as you said, up into the playoff places.
And actually, Perry, regardless of those goals conceded today, it's a win at home too, which is really important given their recent form there.
Yeah, very much so. They hadn't won in the 3 games before here at home, only taken 1 point out of those 3 games there. Their away form is excellent, won 4 of the last 5 and drawn 1, obviously taking 13 points. So they have to make this place a difficult venue to come to, and they did in the first half, especially in that first 20 minutes. They were relentless. They were at Ipswich, they were pressing, they were winning their 50-50s, they were snapping at tackles. And sometimes things can work for managers, because Sheaf went off, Dobson came on again with a point to prove in the midfield. He played a little bit deeper. That enabled O'Brien just to play a little bit further in front of him. O'Brien was absolutely outstanding, got himself 2 assists. So it's all positive here at Wrexham here today. Kieran McKennie, Ipswich manager, I think he'll be disappointed at the way that his team just sort of released the control when they went 3-2 up, because it looked like Ipswich were in the ascendancy when Kipre scored in the 47th minute. But this was an unbelievable game of football, and it is a brilliant sort of spectacle and a brilliant showcase for the Championship, because it was relentless. The referee, Doughty, I thought he refereed the game really well. There was one strange decision that me and Adam couldn't get our breath, where we thought he'd given a penalty where the Ipswich Town goalkeeper Walton clattered into Doyle, and then all of a sudden he gives a goal kick. That was his probably one mistake. Apart from that, he let the game flow really well. So it was an honour and privilege to be here today. But this Wrexham bandwagon just rolls on and on.
Yeah, it's a disappointing result for Ipswich. You talked about the Championship more broadly there. It's not just the result today. Borough have drawn, Millwall have lost, Hull were beaten. They'll feel that, especially because they were ahead in this game, they've missed a chance to take advantage of some of the other results across the country today. Yeah, they will do. They will. It's a long journey back, obviously, to Ipswich, probably 4.5, 5 hours on the coach, and there'll be a lot of reflection that's going on. But I think from Ipswich's point of view, I think Kieran McKenna would be disappointed, because they got involved how Wrexham wanted to play it. They got involved in that basketball day, and they didn't really have that control that they normally have. Matasu in midfield, because it was Sheaf, and then Dobson came on, then O'Brien and Rathbone, they were all snapping at him, so they couldn't get the control that they normally have. So they got sort of gerrymandered into a way of playing that they didn't want to play.
Tell you what, Ollie, it's a fantastic day for Frank Lampard. He will be taking Christine out tonight for a Chinese to celebrate. I think there's no 2 ways about it. What a day for you. If you think last weekend it was, Coventry have blown it. They beat Middlesbrough, they win today, Borough don't do it, Ipswich lose kind of one of the games in hand before we started today, and all of a sudden it's looking rosy for Coventry City once more. Frank Lampard will be singing his way down the M1 today back to London.
Absolutely, it is the Sky Blues day, the perfect day really, for Coventry. You heard their win earlier on Talksport 2. Right, time now to pick our man of the match with the McDonald's.
Man of the match on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
Who are you going for, Perry?
Well, it's a bit of a tough one, to be fair, because there's a lot of Wrexham players that have put their hand up to be nominated as man of the match. I thought like Windass and Kiefer Moore were really, really good in the first half. Windass obviously getting his goal to put Wrexham 2-0, Kiefer Moore getting the opening goal. But and then Broadhead comes on and completely changes the game from 3-2 down, and Wrexham ended up winning 5-3. But I'm going to give it throughout the whole game. I'm going to give it to O'Brien. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. It probably did, let's say, Wrexham a favour when Dobson came on, because he played that little bit deeper. That enabled O'Brien just to play a little bit further forward, and I thought he was outstanding. He got a couple of assists, and I just thought that his control was good. Every decision that he made, his passing was really good. So he got his assists. One was from a corner, and he got his tackles in. So I just thought he sort of set the tempo for Wrexham. So I'm going to give it to Lewis O'Brien.
There we go, Lewis O'Brien, man of the match. That was thanks to McDonald's.